He-Man.
Hey man,
He-Man.
hey man.
Oh yeah, guys. It's the
How's it
He-Man.
going, audience?
It's the He-Man show. One of the.
Yeah.
Would you say the He-Man theme is underrated?
Oh no, come on, it's iconic, man.
It's
If it's not,
iconic.
if that's not the one that's iconic from He-Man, it has to be that GIF that they always
I
make
don't
up where
think.
he's laughing.
I don't like using the word
Nah,
underrated.
that's mean.
It's more
Mhm.
like I don't think people don't put it in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I don't say it's the best. I
You
think it
Mhm.
deserves to be in the conversation a little bit. You know,
Mhm.
that's a good melody.
I swear, when you hear He-Man say his iconic words, you gotta get a testosterone
That's what I'm
boost
saying.
from
Like
that
it's
audience, you
like
know?
the song by itself gives you testosterone before it even says the
Yeah.
words. That's just a lot
I
of
mean,
testosterone.
hell, back when my older brother used to do DJing gigs back in the day, right? Like one of the custom discs he made was actually a remix of He-Man songs and like that iconic theme song, you know, that he would still play in his car even to this day, audience.
They're
You
good.
know,
What do you think,
and
Austin? Underrated, overrated, or where it's supposed to be?
he's too stunned.
He's stunned by
So
the testosterone of He-Man.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. There was too much testosterone in He-Man for him to be in this world, audience. Let's put it that way, all right?
Set by
He
the
was not
power of
he was
Grayskull.
not he was not meant to be in modern times, literally,
Right.
audience.
You
The
know,
movie makes it pretty clear about that, you know.
you
So
know what? You know what's crazy? I was watching like the 2002 show. I didn't realize all the stupid, overpowered shit they gave that He-Man. Like in season two, this dude has like the armor of Grayskull, the shield of Grayskull. His sword has a superpower now as a super form.
well,
I'm like, what the
oh,
fuck?
yeah, well, you know why they had to do that,
Oh yeah, for the
right?
toys, for the toys,
Oh,
yeah.
of course,
But
yeah,
but
you
you
know.
realize giving He-Man a shield is like very redundant.
well, because
Mhm.
the shield, he was fighting a god that season, so he
It
needed
does
the
not
shield.
matter. He literally
But
has the power of a god. This
well,
godless
yes, but the
god is just here
god
to
was
fight.
stronger than him naturally, so he needed the
Yeah,
thing.
it's from
So
what I recall from the early 2000s He-Man, which audience, if you want to see the proper version of a reboot,
hold up. Did I cut out?
Go look at that
Hello?
early 2000s.
Oh, fuck.
Jake, can you hear us?
Oh, can you hear
Jake,
me? You can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, the last thing if you want like a something, and then you cut out for me.
Okay, okay. If you want like to see what a proper reboot or like a modernization of an old classic property should look like, go look at the early 2000s He-Man,
I,
you
I
know?
will say, I will say, as an IP, as like the first reboot of an '80s cartoon, it did a really good job. It did a really good
Oh
job
yeah.
from like
Oh
start to
yeah.
finish. Like it took like the He-Man because like it was an older cartoon, so the animation
Mhm,
wasn't great. And it could convey like all the things it could have,
mhm,
like the epicness that it could have.
mhm.
From the
Yeah.
intro to the reinterpretations, 2000 kind of got it. It was kind of really good. I was just
Oh
rewatching
yeah,
it.
everybody looked great in that audience, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, but yeah, when I was talking about the early 2000s He-Man, I do recall like they had to justify him getting snake armor because of there was a whole season dedicated to like the snake people, right, audience,
yes, yeah.
and they had like that acid that could melt anything, so He-Man actually needed at least a little bit of armor to protect himself from
Yes.
that, you know.
King Hiss, as I've
Mhm.
reacquainted myself with. Yeah.
Yep,
He
yep.
was like, I fought Grayskull, and you ain't Grayskull. I'm like, oh my god.
Ah, there you go.
I, I think it is like the first He-Man cartoon that I remember where I actually did feel like He-Man was like, oh my god, he is the master of the universe. Oh, hey, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like there was the sequence where he's like Service. Do you remember Service, Cryptid?
Who was that?
He was like the snake god, the three-headed snake god.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there was like the sequence where he runs along the head, like the back of the snake, and then he jumps in and like stabs that shit in the eye. The thing like screams and he jumps off and like gets the other one in the mouth. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, let's go. He-Man.
It shouldn't be that hard making him like an appeasement to the male demographic audience. This is basically supposed to be our version of Barbie audience, you know.
Well, it's funny you said that. I will bring that up later. That was gonna go into my point later.
Okay,
So
okay, yeah,
mm,
yeah.
mm.
Anyway, any last minute points before we actually officially start the show?
Is Austin here? Did Austin get kicked
Austin's
out?
here.
Okay, okay.
Oh wait, no. Actually, no. Austin isn't here.
Oh,
Uh-oh. We have to wait
oh,
for him.
okay.
Okay.
I'll be on the standby at the
Uh,
computer. I just need a second.
no, that's okay. I'll keep a lookout for him.
Okay.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, like I said, because I wanted to rewatch 2000. So I was watching this and I realized, like, for people who don't know, before we get into it, I am not the biggest He-Man fan, but I do like the
Mhm,
property. I think there's a lot of like cool shit in it. And I
mhm,
love like the mix of like fantasy and technology. It does it better than a lot
mhm,
of like even like well-established shit for me, like the techno magic stuff in He-Man, you know?
uh-huh.
And it
Yeah.
does when it's done well, it does capture that like male fantasy of I just want to beat somebody's ass. Like I just want to, you know what
Exactly.
I mean? Um,
Exactly. Um,
so oh god.
to borrow a quote from Kevin Smith himself, who openly admitted a decade ago that, yeah, even though you didn't grow up, even if you were someone like Kevin Smith who didn't grow up watching He-Man, like you could still acknowledge like its status in pop culture mythology, basically, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
think I think something to be said by that. I do think I do like the Masters of the Universe thing. I don't know. I was rewatching it. I still never get why they're called the Masters of the Universe when their fights are always on one
Eh,
planet. That always
it
they kind of give
sounds
me.
it sounds cool, I
It
guess.
sounds
You know.
badass. It sounds
It,
badass.
it's like the X-Men situation. Originally they were supposed to be called mutants, but then the editors told Stanley, "Yeah, this doesn't sound so good." So Stanley just thought of X-Men because it sounded cool. You
I
know.
see. I see. Yeah, yeah.
You
It did sound.
sound stupid though.
Yeah, the mutants. Oh my gosh, that's a brand that'll stand the test of time. Um, all right, but
Wow.
now that Austin's here, I guess we should get started.
Okay. So anyway, welcome Confact Live Newsroom Views of the Week audience. You know me, Crypto Secret 415. I have the power of editorial here. So move on.
And my name is Jake Tylenol, and I just want the audience to know I almost won. I almost did it. I almost got the sword. Okay, I could have
Mhm,
if I was fully in the movie. Plug me in. I could have got the sword
mhm.
for Skeletor. All right? I'm just saying I could have done it.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't be like Jake, who only has 5% of the power of editorial for the audience. So yeah, yeah.
I
Abe's
have a.
Comics, Bricky Wall here. I want the power, okay? I don't think Crypto deserves the power. Okay?
But isn't that the message that we all have the power? It's within us. All right.
hmm
But
Hey, who wants the responsibility?
it's true. And together we have the power as we form the Fanatics
You you
minus
you
one.
know that's the actual like show, right? That's He-Man, We Have the Power or something.
I didn't
What it's
know it's
called?
called We Have the Power, but I'm sure he said it before.
That was the theme song called at least.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not talking about that He-Man. Today we're talking
Mhm,
about He-Man. Well, no, we're actually talking about the Masters of the Universe. It's not even
This
called He-Man.
yeah, this one
Yeah.
has a Master Universe theme, the
Right.
lyrics and everything.
Yeah.
mhm,
Personally, as someone who's again, I said this while Austin was gone. I am not like the huge He-Man fan. I just admire the shit.
He
And
just
for
cares
me,
about the 2000 words. I want to hear.
yeah, I like that.
I mean,
I want no. Sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'll watch like the classic version, just see the goofy shit they were doing. But I think for me, whenever I see He-Man on the cover, that's just He-Man. Okay, I don't I
mhm,
I don't see the Masters of the Universe, but I just see He-Man. Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
mhm,
it's more
He,
like you, if you're not a fan of He-Man, it's more just classic blade and sorcery stuff.
yeah.
mhm.
Let's see.
But yeah, so we all watched the movie with all. This is gonna be a good one, folks, because
Oh
word on the
Lord.
streets is we don't agree on the film. All
Oh
right.
That's not a
no.
good thing.
It was bound to happen one point, audience. Yep. Welcome to
um,
democracy, audience.
it's true.
Which is about to turn you at some point in the future. Keep that in mind. So
And this,
Not
no,
this
that's in
timeline.
that's in that the other time. Like we're still doing the king system, all right? Yeah, we're still
Yeah,
in the
nah. Based
old.
on the way this
you're
film ended, he definitely not trying to do that council bullshit no more.
Gotcha.
I guess I'll go. Yeah, I'll go first, and then Crypto go first, and then Austin should go because just so we have the opinion mix
Mhm.
up because I know where Crypto is. Um,
Gotcha.
so for those that don't know, He-Man came out, and there's been a lot of confusion about what this story is about. This is a story that wants to commentate on masculinity and
Oh boy.
how there are toxic traits in there, but we can come together as brothers in manhood and
Not all
pull each other up.
not
Yeah.
all masculinity is bad.
Right now, masculinity is bad.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
the
that's the
point.
message. That's the message of the movie, and the movie really wants to teach you that lesson. But it also wants to tell you that I understand that we're all men and we're here to see some people get their asses whooped, and so we're going to show
Yeah.
that. And that is the He-Man movie, basically.
Mm,
So,
You have to
in ter-
narrow down the message like, oh, don't make toxic your first approach.
right,
mm,
Like you
yeah.
can try to be civil, but sometimes you got to be niggas ass. It's just how.
right.
Mm.
And so in terms of
It's
that,
okay to have a badass It's okay to have a badass hobby like going out to look for swords. Audience, you don't need
right.
somebody creeping down on your neck. Don't
Yes,
say
you
don't
do.
do
If you're doing
that.
it during the work hours, you're a problem. Okay,
Hey,
I'm not getting
if you
extra work because you want to look for a sword.
no, hey, if you're still producing results and the work is doing fine, like okay, you could go ahead 5 minutes.
I think he
Look
was. That was the
online.
point, though.
Well, rumor. So the thing is, Cryptid. I don't know if I was here for this. Cryptid compared like we want this to be like the men version of the Barbie movie. I think it
Yeah.
is. I think it's
Mhm.
written the same way. I was actually about to look up. It's the same writer
Oh wow.
because the way
Whoa.
they tackled the Barbie movie is pretty similar to how they tackled the He-Man movie.
Hmm.
Especially when you get to the ending with the meta commentary on like the male lifestyle. I should say without getting too into it.
Mhm.
That said,
Yeah,
I think.
I would say there is a this is not really it's not a sport. You see a little bit of trail. There is a moment where He-Man and Man at Arms talk, and I
Yeah.
will say it really does serve as the Barbie meet her creator moment
Right.
Mhm.
because it really, I think it really streamlines. Look, Red, I get where man we gotta do this stuff, but if you really need something, you can still count them. Like you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's messages like there's even like one that I thought was really cool, like at the very end, and we'll get into it when we get to the spoilers. That said, while the beginning was not doing well, if you step
Now
back and
the
take
first
the
act is 50 minutes
terrible,
long, and it is not that great.
it's not great. But
Mhm.
when I had time to step back and look at the whole picture, like once you get the whole picture of what the movie is trying to
Yeah,
do,
the ending
I
saves it, but it does not make it worth
yes,
rewatching.
I
That part.
understand. Yeah, because I understand the what the Earth part is for. I feel like you could say the message without it, but I get
Mhm.
artistically why it's there. So
Mhm.
I guess even though the first 3 minutes are really bad, but I will say
Mhm.
altogether we're looking at maybe 7 out of 10 for me. Maybe we'll change by the time we get to the end, but I'm thinking 7 out of 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess
Gotcha.
like I said,
Mhm.
the first act I think was terrible. I gave the first act 3 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of it was
Yeah.
unnecessary. It was very boring. Uh, the stuff they used to set up later doesn't work in the beginning of the film.
Mhm.
So you're just like, what the fuck are we watching for like the first 30 minutes before he go? Well, first 50 minutes really.
Yeah.
But after that, literally like after the 50-minute mark, me and Jake was looking at the time when we were watching.
Mm.
It really does turn into a good movie and a good message about at least what they're trying to do. I think they kind of kick it in a little bit too late.
Mhm.
By the time you get to that point, most people are going to be like bored or already checking out the film.
Mm.
And while some of the scenes after that was good enough for me and Jake to check back in, I can see like an average dude who didn't care about He-Man not checking back in till like
Right.
the actual end of the
Mhm.
film. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
so I'll give it. I personally want to give it an 8 because I don't give a fuck about the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. We
Uh,
watched a whole lot of bad stuff before, and
I gotta
beginnings and
say,
stuff be
I will give you this that final confrontation with Skeletor and He-Man from start to finish really pulled that movie up by its bootstraps. All right.
I still have some problems with the ending, but
We'll
based
get
on my
yeah.
overall negative reception on this. But
Yeah.
all right. Okay, let me give my thoughts on this, non spoilery. I feel like this is the equivalent of like mac and cheese and Brussels sprouts, right? If you can like this film, but you gotta admit there's certain okay, the comedy aspect, yeah, it was really not doing it for me. Like, it felt like the Taika Waititi situation where, or the Marvel, the MCU humor. If anybody wants to go back to those days, where it's like, okay, we got to insert a joke here, we got insert a joke there, and it got to the point where I'm like thinking to myself, even when there is a serious moment, right, a fight happening, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, please don't put in a joke. Please do not put in a joke. Please do not put in a joke. And they keep trying to put in a joke, you know.
I
And based on
You
like
have
how
to
I
go in
feel.
depth in that later because I don't think they did that often.
Mm.
Mhm.
I think I know what
But a
Cryptid
lot
is
of times,
saying. I just think I
yeah.
disagree with like the assessment that it deterred the scenes. But we can get to that later. Go finish your thoughts.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mm.
But no, that's like the overall reception I've been seeing. A lot of people who've been reviewing this film have been saying like, okay, yeah, if you need to stick with the tension of it, and putting in a joke just takes away from that tension. Like, especially since like not all of them are funny, you know. It's just
No,
I feel like
not
I'm
all of them.
missing that like yeah, I feel like I'm missing. It's missing that like background audience noise where the studio, like, if they want to show you there's a joke, they push a button and it's audience laughing or cheering. There are multiple
I
moments
disagree
in
with
this
that.
movie that felt that.
Yeah.
Other
So
than
I,
the first one that's in the teaser, so we can talk about this. The Skeletor pausing scene in the
mhm,
beginning. I don't really think there are a lot of moments of that. I think Skeletor especially gives like a lot of comedy scenes, well, tension scenes, time to breathe before he does anything that can be
mhm,
considered funny.
mhm,
I think there's
I,
only one section where I'll argue I agree with you, but I think the tension by the time was already broken up that it felt more natural to me.
mhm.
But we have to get to that later. But if you're talking about like the Scorpion scene, Jake had a problem with that too. I mean,
Mhm.
the Skeletor scene at the beginning of the movie, Jake had a problem with that too.
yeah.
But with a later revelation in the movie, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think for me, when people said it was a comedy, I was fearing the worst, and then Cryptos on the server like,
Jake
oh my
was thinking
god,
about Will Ferrell.
Yo, yeah, Taika
Yeah.
with you said Taika Waititi. I said, oh no. And so
Oh
what I
Lord.
think is not conveyed is that the way the humor is used is not the same. I think like if
Mhm,
you were
Yeah,
talking about Taika Waititi Thor
there's two
3,
types of jokes here,
right,
and
mhm,
one is like the natural inclusion of like trying to figure out how names work,
right.
and
mhm.
the other one is them trying
Right.
to stick those names. I guess that makes sense. And I think the
Gotcha.
one where they're trying to stick these names to people later on in the movie, I think that doesn't work as well as
Right.
when they're first
Gotcha.
coming up with the names.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the name thing I kind of liked,
The
at
names that you
least
kind of
from
had to
the
do. I don't think you could play Fisto straight.
Mm.
yeah, like okay, to just clarify what happened here, audience. Like, okay, the reason why all these characters were given the names, the respective names, like Fisto or Ram Man, and that stuff, or Mechanic, is because like He Man was taken out like as a kid, and he didn't want to forget about any of them. But of course, he forgot their names, so he just made up names for them, and also drew pictures of them to constantly
We
remind himself who these
Which to me
people
is
were.
a
we
great framing device for like, because these were children's toys, right? So a
Yeah.
9-year-old coming up with these children's things was a great framing device to
Hmm.
make these make sense.
Hmm.
And then there
the
was one
best
that
one of those jokes are not from them though. It's from
yes,
Evil
and
One.
that joke was clever as well because
I
it
just
played on a character, it played on like a character moment and
right.
not just like
Uh,
step like, oh, like we need to make a joke right now. You know what I mean?
but then,
That's
but
the type of humor
but
I like.
then but then for the opening revelation, that okay, I can understand. But then they always constantly go back to how they're all laughing at the names He-Man made up, like even towards the end of the film. Like okay,
I
okay,
think
Then
I'm
yeah,
the
okay
let's
with
film, I
it.
tone it
think, is the
down.
ones work. That's the only. We'll get to the spoilers. Let's just go
Yeah.
to spoilers.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think without spoiling it, I think there is it's a little bit of a mix. Like it doesn't fully stick the landing. I know what you're saying, Crypto. It doesn't fully stick the
Mhm.
landing all the way, but for the most part, I
Mhm.
get why they think it's silly. I mean, their names made by a child about them, so of course they're gonna find it
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah.
But there is a moment in the movie where I'm like, okay, this joke is going a little bit far, but let's try to reel it
I would
back.
argue the one in the end works best. I would think the one at the middle of the third act, the middle
Yeah,
of the third act is when it does not work for me.
yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think the one literally at the end of the movie is fine, but the
yes,
one
We could,
mid fight third act is not great.
yeah.
yeah,
There's also great.
we could have toned down the whole Fisto jokes because they kept going
Yes, I
back
agree. I
to
agree.
Yeah,
I
that
that's
agree.
what I'm
Yeah,
talking
name.
yeah.
about.
Let's go.
Fisto and Ram Man in the final act fight was not that great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
They made
Hmm.
a fisting joke and they made a give him head Ram Man
right.
joke.
Yes.
And those are only two who I would argue were out of place. I think when they first find their names, it's fine, but the fact they just randomly accepted the name off screen, like Ram Man was fine. Fisto accepted his name after being mad about it for like no reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, I think also, and I think too, it's just like the smart humor they have with like trying to get things from the show, from the '90s show, I mean, well, the '80s show, into
Yeah.
the cartoon. Like, there's a joke that pretty much calls out like the stupid jokes they make in the original show, and they just laugh
Yeah,
at. And that was like, and like, there's
that's
a
the
guy
one,
who's like,
and
"What
I
the
think
fuck are you?"
worked really well. Yeah, you
Yeah,
see,
there's a guy that just like looks at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, what are you laughing at? That wasn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that. It was appropriately timed. There is, but
the
I will
problem is
say,
most people won't get that joke.
no, no, yeah, kids
Yeah.
today we're not gonna get that. We don't have humor like that anymore. That's like very
Mm-hmm.
obscure. There is jokes that I wasn't too fond of, where it's like, okay, just let them be cool. Very.
We'll get to that spoilers when we talk about
Yeah,
Home Fight.
yeah. There's like a
Yeah.
joke, like so. I don't like for me. If there's a cool moment for me, I just say let them be cool. Like unless if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
absolutely confident that the joke is necessary, let them be cool. And I
yeah,
gotta say they
that's the
did.
only.
Yeah,
That's
go
the
ahead.
second joke I'll argue that went on way too long.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
um,
we'll get that as spoilers because that's
yeah.
actually a lot. It's a long scene for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Skeletor, I wasn't feeling him at the beginning. He
I
was
loved
slowly
him.
working me. He was
I
slowly
love this
working me
dude,
over. He
bro.
was
This is
slowly.
my favorite Skeletor right now. I was goodness,
I mean,
goodness.
I
I
got,
loved him
I
for
got.
the first frame. When he paused and it was like, that's me. I was supposed to join me. That's me. I was supposed to left. Like, what's going on here? This is not our
Skeletor was
first day of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skeletor was a consistently good character throughout this
No,
film that
definitely.
I
Yeah,
didn't even
definitely.
have a problem
Yeah.
with. And I just feel so bad for Jared Leto after this because, based on the
I
box
know.
office performance of this, like I would say this is like the best role he's gotten in a long time, and unfortunately,
That's why I'm not mad at it
mhm,
because
that's why I'm just like,
like he has 5 bombs in his record. This will be the
hmm
sixth bomb in a row.
yeah,
But because it's the first one where people are arguing, he gave his best performance. I think
uh
this will lead to him getting more either animated or mocap
I,
roles. And
I'm
I
just
think
saying
that'll
I,
fit him
if
better as
he
an actor.
if he bombs
I
again,
hope
it's
so.
over, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, what Jared Leto? Okay, whatever movie you're at right now, next, I'm gonna go
Do
see
more
it
mocap.
because, yeah, I want to see you succeed, man. I feel like you're the underdog at this point, man. Like, again, multiple box office in a row. I mean, they're not all your fault. You're giving the best you can.
Oh, wait, hold on,
It's
hold on,
just
hold on. Now. The one before this was 100% his fault.
wait, which one?
Tron.
Uh,
Oh,
Tron was
Tron.
100% his fault. He changed literally everything about the story to make that new plot. It was 100% his fault.
Oh, okay, but okay, but then you have like something like this where he's actually trying to be faithful to the character Skeletor.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be able to tell me that
If it
that
was
was
just
Jared
marketing,
Leto.
I feel like marketing better would be fine. Like if you didn't come
Yeah,
out, that you should let fans see the masculinity thing in the movie. You bring up all the stuff you showed beforehand made this movie look a lot worse than what it was. It's kind of like
yeah,
Transformers One. And if
yeah.
Transformers One cannot make its money back, this is not making its money back anywhere in here.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I would argue Barbie's marketing was better. I mean, to be fair, everybody expected the femininity message to be fair, but
Yeah.
also like, I feel like Barbie's message was
Yeah.
like way more on point. It made you want to see it. Like it was, it had an appeal to it.
The
That made you
the,
want to see it.
the problem
All-
was the same thing with the 2019 cartoon, where it's like you're seeing the Master Universe title. You're thinking He-Man. You're thinking the power fantasy, and everything you
yeah,
get from marketing and stuff isn't the power fantasy. And I think this
hmm
is the time period specifically where you didn't need that full on.
yeah,
So this is the one
yeah,
where all the boys and kids think they're like girls or video games and everything. Like people just coming in and taking over their hobbies. So I
hmm
do think they should have played the casting, at least for most people, and the story a little bit straighter. At least the
exactly,
marketing for it a little bit straighter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
Like,
most people just see people encroaching on another franchise they love and modern dayizing it, something they never wanted. And then
like, we have to be careful about making He-Man too masculine of a character,
Yeah.
or we have to adjust these problematic elements on He-Man as a character. Whereas something like
yeah, guess
Barbie,
what? Skeletor is the pinnacle of top in Metroid. Like what? The
exactly.
guy with the
Whereas,
Starscream voice?
yeah, yeah. Whereas something like Barbie, it was unapologetically, a feminine movie. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
it knew who its target was, and
It
it
found a way to
catered to
do
them.
that and still give the men a character they can like.
Which, to
Yeah.
be
It didn't
fair,
shit. It didn't shit on Ken. It made Ken very understandable. I think that
yeah.
the
Which, to be
He-Man
fair,
could have did the reverse thing of that.
I think this
Mhm.
movie does it, but you don't get that in the marketing. I think
Yeah,
like because by the
yeah,
time
it's
you
all
get to like
marketing.
He-Man, he's doing He-Man shit. All right, don't get it twisted. Like, all right, he's the He-Man. Okay, like, and
Mhm.
he does, and the fight
Let me
scenes
get
are
spoilers, bro. It'd be like that.
the what was it here? I think the fight scenes for this. I mean, well, they're not that many. There's like three, I think, but they all play on the power fantasy. You know, like the idea of like a
Mhm.
guy, like this is a guy who's been powerless his whole life, getting godhood, and he's just having fun with it, and he's figuring it out. So, like, you do get that. It's just like that was not marketed as that was as the
Yeah,
appeal. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you
yeah,
know.
but
I can promise you, if they showed Skeletor in the Nike hoodie, you saw already my profile pictures. I don't care. If they showed in the marketing, I guarantee more people came and saw this film. But oh, they're getting goofy.
Oh no, I feel like people would still bounce even more from this film. They saw that goofy hoodie
No,
from that
I
scene.
was
no, because a lot of people was
cryptic.
complaining going into this film about they don't think Jet Li's Skeletor was going to be goofy at all. They till they
Mhm.
saw that clip of him doing like the hand thing, but that wasn't his best comedy bit in the movie.
No.
I feel like he did one of the later comedy bits in the movie early. I think it would have worked.
Actually, you know
Yeah.
what? We'll go into spoilers in a second, but well, I guess I'll say I recommend the movie.
I
Give
recommend
it,
it too.
yeah, give it a chance. Like once it gets to what it's trying to say, it picks up a lot. So like you just
I think it's going
got,
to be a bigger cult classic than it is a box office hit. I feel like it came on like
yeah,
streaming, it probably did a lot better.
yeah.
Yeah. There are good moments in this film, audience. It's like again the mac and cheese and Brussels sprouts things. Like if you
What
could
the
have
fuck?
just
Oh yeah,
well, no, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, look, if you could have just toned this down, maybe like cut a couple scenes to carry on, so you could keep the tension consistent, it would have been a much greater film, you know. But that's just my opinion, you know. I wanted there
yeah.
to
If you're
be, a strict tone, not like worrying about a joke popping up next scene, you know.
if you're
So
putting bread sprouts and mac and cheese, you're a gross ass person.
I'm just
But
using the pun. I'm just using the Punisher philosophy here, Jake. I mean, sorry, Austin. Yeah, you know,
we'll,
no matter
so we're
no
gonna
matter where you put, no matter where you put the Brussels sprouts, their vegetable juices pollute the whole mac and
it's gonna
cheese.
get into
You
all
know.
of it.
That's why you
Um,
put them in a separate goddamn
Oh,
bowl.
yeah.
but we're gonna get
I'm here.
into
I want to keep the mac and cheese off. I want to keep the Brussels sprouts off the mac and cheese. Keep them from
That's a
leaving the store in the first place. Like,
that's a low
uh,
thing, but that's why people get mad at me Thanksgiving because I have like multiple plates. Because I'm not putting all this shit on one plate. I'm not doing it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not about to eat my rice with like green bean juice sliding down the plate. That's not gonna happen.
that's fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we're gonna get into spoilers now. So like I said, we were well to at least but the crypto. You recommend the movie just to watch?
I wouldn't recommend. I don't think
If
you recommend the theaters. I just
you
like came on TV. You'll see watch it.
if it's coming on TV, you can watch it,
See,
audience. Like
it's not
let
a
it
full price
settle
film.
down.
I get.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
Uh, it's not a
But that
clean.
ending,
It's not a
that
clean
final
finish.
beatdown was all right. I don't care what anybody said. That was worth the price for me, bro. That should have me off, bro.
All right, so we
Anyway,
say get it watch in the theaters. If you can't full price, we can't get it like on a Tuesday. And Critic says wait for TV or wait for streaming.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. With that out of the way, who do you guys want to talk about first?
Let's talk about He-Man himself.
No,
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about. I want to just get this out the way. This is one of the examples of
why you
like
look
you got
confused?
right. This is one of the
Yeah.
examples of you got to let the movie cook for a bit because I'm telling you, this character was not likable for the longest time.
All
Like,
right,
I was
so
not
people,
enjoyable.
they tried to mix Prince Adam and his Prince Adam the person and Prince Adam the character he plays as one
Yeah.
person. So he wasn't the secretly competent prince. He was just the bumbling coward, kind of at the beginning of the movie, and it was kind of hard to watch.
Yeah.
He was the shortest kid in his whole.
Literally the runt of the
class.
litter. His own dad was bullying the fuck out of him, bro.
Yeah.
You know how
The
hard, you
dad-
know how crazy it is to be trading, lose, and your dad comes off his throne to the room and start whooping your ass for everybody.
God, dude.
It- he takes a while. Once he get now, to be fair, I think the only downside to the way they wrote this, I think the way they wrote this was smart for what they were trying to do. It's clear that they want Prince Adam to be in this movie while adhering to the characteristics. He's supposed to be like the the male fantasy like step. You know, like you start off as
Yeah.
like the loser, you gain the power. Like you
Um,
are supposed to be in Prince Adam throughout the film. That's
Mm.
that's
yeah,
that's supposed to be.
I'm a little curious about that, Jay, because for a long time I thought you said you didn't like Origins, but then
I
here
don't.
you
I
are
didn't even like
coming out.
this. I didn't. Well, I did like. I was like sitting
Okay,
through the.
Well,
I was
like
sitting
you heard that he didn't like the first act.
Yeah, I didn't like the first act. I was bored.
okay.
It was just
Yeah,
that I don't listen. I don't like Origins, but I could tell like if it's a good one. Like I'm not gonna say it's like a bad
okay,
Origin story. Yeah,
okay.
that's definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause-
he likes
okay.
Spider-Man one.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
there you go. Because like I have some thoughts on like the opening thing, the opening scene of like He-Man here, audience. Because I just kind of like I don't know if this was like an intentional thing that they brought up, but like He-Man is would not be happy in modern media times, audience. Like, and when he comes to Earth, man, he is miserable. Like
Yeah.
almost everybody's like trying to put him down. His boss is like trying to like stop it with the sword thing. Like
No. He deserves that shit. No,
if,
bro.
if
If you're going on your first date with a girl and the first thing to her, I'm from magical make believe land and I'm the prince of this place, and then some
okay,
skeleton man attack. No, you're an
oh,
idiot. I
But
don't care,
that's
okay,
bro.
that.
wait,
This dude
wait, wait,
dumb.
what? Wait. Okay, yeah, that's one thing I also want to add. Like, wait, Adam, you've been in this place for like what, 15
15
years?
years.
And you're still mentioning this and surprised that people are looking at you weird? I would think at a certain point
Yeah.
you'd be more wiser
Well,
about
that's this
telling the
also
story,
we're re
He's
looking at the
going on
movie
a
as a
first date, bro. You can't. What's
we're
wrong
looking
with
at the
you?
movie as a whole
It, it,
scope. Again, it's supposed
it's
to
just
be because the whole thing with Adam is he's allegorical. He's not a full character. He's an allegorical person. He's supposed. It's supposed to be
it,
like it's supposed to be you going on a date with the hot girl, but you're like a nerd, so all you can talk about is your nerd shit. And she's like, I don't want to like I don't want any of this. That's what that's supposed to be. It's not. It's
it just
I
kind of
understand
it
that,
just
but you can't start off with like, oh, your friend
yeah.
doesn't believe you. You your job doesn't believe you. You've been here 15 years. So that means no one believes you.
right,
And then you go on a date
Mhm.
with a girl, and apparently that wasn't his first date with a girl. He
right.
did it to multiple dates.
Yeah,
Oh boy, yeah.
yeah.
Like
Because
again, you should have been wiser at that point. Like
yeah,
for God's sake, what has Adam been doing this for the past 15 years? Like,
again,
was he just by himself?
this is the problem because I brought this up the first time I watched it, and again, ending the movie, it's hard. You gotta have to either accept the allegory or you don't, and it's not a fault to anybody. It's just like you just have to accept that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it more allegorical
Okay.
than real. Because if
Oh,
I was Prince Adam and I was in that situation, I'm training my ass off for
gotcha.
the day I go home. You know what I mean?
And,
Like I'm.
Gotcha.
Derpy, we're enjoyers mostly.
Yeah, yeah.
Complainers. It's not
Hey,
a
hey,
clean film. Let's put it this
We
way.
have those complaints,
Derpy.
but we mostly enjoyed the film.
hey,
Well, two
Jeremy,
of
how
us
about
at
you?
least
There,
did.
How about you chill
there's
with
a
the
good film in
boys?
this.
Chill with the boys, and how about you find out? Stick with us.
Yeah.
Tell us what
There's a
you thought
good.
about the movie.
I don't know.
There's
So
a
what
good
it is.
film. There's a good film in this. I just wish you could have just trimmed the
Yeah,
Brussels sprouts. So.
but like I was like it's not. Adam is not entirely a character, and that's why it's just very hard to like him because that's not the point of him. He's not supposed to be the Prince Adam of the show yet. He's just supposed to be the avatar for a certain part of the audience, basically. And
Hmm.
so, because of that,
Yeah.
it does read weird that he is doing things like this, or like
Hmm.
like he
It just.
hasn't trained or done anything to find this, or other than ask
Yeah,
other
he
people.
has the My Hero problem where Cribbit, in My Hero, the main character's name is Deku. He found
Okay.
he doesn't have a superpower. The whole world got superpowers. He
Yeah.
found out he don't have one, but he wants to be the number one hero, and he still applies to go to like the biggest superhero school of all time without doing
Hmm.
like any preparation.
Hmm.
So it's like you know you don't have a power. You don't even try to work out. You don't try to do anything. And it's the same
Well,
problem with him because he thinks
okay.
going home
Mhm.
and everything is going to work out, knowing the last time he was there, the whole place is under threat, and he doesn't
Yeah.
think any like concern about it. He's like, well, if
Yeah.
I get home, everything's gonna be fine. You can
Well,
learn boxing or something.
yeah, that's a good point to bring up because, like, again, so much of the beginning of this film was just done for sake of comedy, whereas you really should expect Adam to, I don't know, be physically building up his body, taking some martial arts or boxing or some
To be
sword
fair, he
classes.
tried to
Like,
do the gym.
Yeah, he did tried to do a gym.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like,
what
well, no,
tried to
yeah,
do.
yeah. I feel like at the point of like, I need to go home and train. It's not trying. It's like when to do it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, like so. But
Dude,
no, again, again
I
that goes
really,
into the allegory of he wants to be big and strong, but he just can't. Again, it's allegory, not actual character. So
yeah, but
yeah,
like, but instead they just had to emphasize that Adam is miserable in this world. This is not this modern times doesn't really want to have a place for somebody who's like a strong masculine character like He-Man, you know. So,
well, I don't even know. I don't even know that's
He
what.
wasn't even that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it's saying. I think it's just saying like Adam is living in a fantasy lifestyle. Because even when he because the lesson he has to learn is
There's
that like
nothing he does at the beginning of this film that shows that he was ever masculine.
yeah,
Even as a kid, he was never masculine.
I think the
So
lesson the
anything he
film
could
because
do great in modern time.
the lesson he has to learn in the film is that like he thinks that escapism is going to stop him from having adversity in his life. That's what when he first like his first thing is I go home, I'm good, like that's it. That doesn't work out. He gets He-Man powers. Okay, well I'm He-Man, I can do whatever I want. That gets someone like hurt. That gets someone killed. But then he learns
We're
like
doing
okay,
spoilers.
well,
Just said.
yeah, he
yeah.
gets his father killed, and then he has to learn that like okay, like I can't. This power is escapism to an extent, but I still have struggles. I can't escape struggles just because I have power or I'm in this world. Like I have to
Yeah.
actually fight. You know, I have to learn,
Well,
think. You know,
does anybody want to talk about how he got the sword back?
yeah,
I
it
was
was.
actually fine with that to a degree.
Oh boy.
So people know the comic books place. Basically, someone found a sword, sold it to a comic book store. He had to pay some random guy $300, by the way, just to take him to the sword.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
thought
Okay,
I
that
was
was
like,
like a fight
bro,
for him.
if I'm paying you $300,
okay,
you better bring me the sword.
dude, and that itself was stupid because the guy literally told him, "You'll know me when you find me." So Adam goes
Oh
into
no, that scene was
the
Yeah,
comic.
terrible.
I was about fucking dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam comes into this. Was it a comic shop or geek shop?
I,
I don't know.
looked like
It
a,
was a comic shop in the front and it was a geek shop in the back.
Okay, so it's a combination too. So anyway, Adam goes in and he literally has to ask every single person in the store, "Do you have my sword?" Well, I mean, so
And
it wasn't
it's not a
actually
joke. He
mine.
asked every single person. It's like
yeah.
four people.
Yeah, yeah, I hated that. And then even when he finally found the sword audience, which was like which was being held by a masculine statue that looks like Conan, like of course they had to make like a joke about it, like him like struggling to get that sword out, even at one point, like trying
I
to
was
pull
fine
it
with that
in
till it
between
went
his
on way
legs.
too long. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was fine till
yeah.
it went on way too long. When he first tried to grab and couldn't get out, I thought that was fine. But once he got to the part where he was rolling on the floor and stuff, it's like, hey, yo, come on.
Right.
Yeah, and then when he finally grabbed it, like he tried saying the lines, but nothing happened.
Okay, so me and Jake actually like that because Jake has a theory, and rewatching the film, I think that theory is true.
Well, I
So,
had two. So yeah, you so which one? I don't know if you're
the first theory that Jake had was anytime he tried to use a sword inside the building with a roof, it did not work. Did you notice that?
Oh my god, dude, that is a lame ass handicap to put
Well,
on
no, you gotta think about it.
somebody.
You gotta think about it. The first time he did it, he was in a building when he was out. When there was a sky. The first time it worked, he had a
Yeah.
skylight. He was in a cave, but there was a skylight.
Hey,
Skeletor tries to use it. He's in his building. It does not work. Then when
hey,
He-Man does it, he's in Grayskull. There's a skylight in Grayskull.
I don't, I don't think Shazam has that issue, man.
Well,
Come on.
I
listen,
just think it's funny the idea that the power actually has to reach you for it to work. You
Oh
don't have
my
the power.
god.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's very
He,
funny.
okay, so He-Man's kryptonite is a roof audience.
yes,
Like there you
you put
go.
a roof on his
Wow,
head.
wow.
It's not gonna work. I bet.
They have it 5 times in the film. All of them reach that standard. They might not have meant to do that, but it's very funny when you notice.
And I want to go back and look and see if Shazam ever has any of that problem by audience. So we'll see.
My other theory
I
was
don't think we
also
ever seen Shazam use the power to build. Funny enough,
my
I think he
also my
always
other
starts
theory
it
too.
outside.
My other theory too is that you have to wait to get the power to say I have the power. Because every time,
Well,
because when
Yeah,
he, so when
anytime
He-Man
they say it before the line is fully finished, they never get the power to.
right, he says by the power of Grayskull, I want to go home, but then like nothing happens. But I feel like if he said by the power of Grayskull, that
Let
might
it
have given him
sit
the
for
power.
a
Like he just
second.
waited.
The lightning
Yeah,
comes.
right. And then when Skeletor says by the power of
Like,
Grayskull, I have the power.
I have the power. Yeah, he does
Yeah,
it
he
way too
just
fast.
yeah. Grayskull's like, oh shit,
Mhm.
I guess I don't need to give it to you.
I would love the idea that Grayskull, the guy who was a stickler for like the terms and like incantations and stuff
The
with
rules
his
of
magic.
Mhm.
So he's like, you have to do it exactly like this. There's no other way.
Yeah.
But that was just a goofy thing. I like I like the second one more. I like the idea that you actually have to wait to get the power. But nah.
Oh, man.
That said,
Gotcha.
I
Yeah,
do
that
agree.
whole scene was not that great. I do
Right.
think, like I think there was potential in that scene. It just wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact,
So.
you could have mushed all the front building, front part, the whole first 40. I think it was like 40 minutes of this film is on Earth.
Yeah.
You could have mushed
Okay.
this whole thing in like 10 minutes. Whereas five
Yeah.
minutes to HR, you could have still did the gym scene because it's important. It had the OT He-Man after in it.
Oh yeah. I like that scene a lot, audience. You know, it would have
Uh,
been more. It would have been more great if you had that actor actually be one of the mentors to Adam, like getting
yeah,
physically fit and all that stuff. Or using a
yeah.
sword.
He gave him
You
some
know?
advice, but Adam was too Adam to really understand.
Yeah.
I will
Uh,
Yeah.
say. Oh, go ahead. Finish your thing. Else.
but yeah, I'll say you do file like 4 minutes of the HR. You do the gym scene, and then the scene with the sword. You have his friend find it, like help him look for it. He find it. They go just pick it up, not make it such a big scene, and you still make it to the highway. Them trying to get home, and still do the Beastman segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think the Earth stuff comes together at the end because you were talking about the man to man scene being the Barbie equivalent. I thought the actual confrontation with Skeletor and He Man at the end was the Barbie thing for me, where like
Okay.
Skeletor is like in his mind and like
No,
going
no,
through
no, no.
something.
We're talking about two different scenes. So
Oh,
when I mean the Barbie scene, I mean I didn't mean her in the trailer. I did say that, but that's not what I meant.
okay.
The It was her and that girl, the girl who played with the doll, when she
Oh, okay.
revealed that
Yeah.
I'm the person you were playing with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think for me the one I was like, oh, there's like the Barbie moment, and I think it's really like for the movie as goofy as it is, that moment was really deep, like for what they were trying to do. When he's at his lowest, and the scene they choose is him in his apartment, and he's on the floor, and he's like, I think I'm dead, and like his friend goes like, oh, that's convenient, like rent's about to be due or whatever,
Okay.
and that's the joke that starts it off, but. I do like the whole thing where it's like he's in his room, he feels defeated. It's like an allegory for like life, like many people go through this, where like you feel like defeated and you can't pick yourself back up, but then you have to remember that you have agency in life, you have the
Mhm.
power, and that's the thing that saves Adam is when he realizes like I am He-Man, like I have the power, and I thought that was like a really well written
he
scene.
didn't say he was He-Man.
Well, he's I was He-Man, but he said
Mhm.
I have the power, like she was like because she makes him recite the thing, but the thing she wants him to understand is the last phrase is I have the power, and when he tells himself that he can save himself. And I thought that was like a
Mhm.
really smart written
I get
scene.
they try to do it. I don't like the phrasing of it because like
Yeah, that's not what it actually
the
means, but I do
problem
like.
is the problem is I do get power from outside source, and
Yeah,
then I say I have the power.
right.
They'll be I already have the power. It's like by the power of grace code, I had the power and I got more power. Like that would be the phrase you're talking for right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, but as far as like Adam as a kid, I don't know. I can't rate him to like it. Well, I guess we're never getting a sequel. Maybe we will. I don't know.
Nah,
But like
no,
No,
we're not.
he
this
hasn't
one
really
have
had
to
a
do
chance.
incredible overseas for
Yeah,
this to
Yeah.
get a sequel.
he hasn't really had a
Mhm.
chance to be Adam yet because the whole movie was just getting him there. So
Yeah,
the only way you would see that is the sequel. So,
Yeah.
but
Nice.
he's a cool like
Like this.
for like a insert character in a live action film. It wasn't badly written. It just you
Uh,
just need to know what you're
I'll
getting to.
argue it was a problem for me with the transformation because people know this dude did not bulk up anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
he is already this built, and they just cover it with
Yeah.
a pink shirt and act like
Mhm.
he's just some nerd dude. To be fair, the movie does not shy away that he's already hot. We see the girl at the comic book shop and another woman, the woman he's on a date with, clearly are attracted to this dude physically.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then when he goes He-Man, they do this whole CGI moment where they try to make it look like his muscles getting bigger. I'm like, nigga, what?
That was,
All you did was take off his shirt.
that
He
was
looks like this the
weird.
whole time.
Question, guys. You guys, I think it should have been better if they did the whole scrawny Steve Rogers thing. Yeah.
Just the
I
2000s version
agree
was
to a degree.
the
Yeah.
2000s the best compromise because
Well,
he's realistically scrawny, but
yeah.
like he
Either
gets
that
buff.
or you'll have to do what the 2019 cartoon do, and you just made He-Man buff as
The
fuck.
fuckers are roided.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, like it wouldn't have been that much difficult since, like, what the whole Earth stuff wasn't like was only there for like what the first 20 minutes of it. So
Dude, that shit was
it
like
wouldn't have cost
45 minutes. We were counting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have cost that much just to make him scrawny, you know? Just saying, you know?
I will
Yeah.
say, I think my other problem with Adam being a self-insert character is that his fight scenes come across as really unhinged based on where he starts in the film. Because I
Mhm.
don't know, like it's haha funny, but this dude literally like ripped off someone's horn and stabbed it in the dude's throat. I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
Mhm.
disagree. I think by the time he did that, I think it was appropriate for what he was doing.
Okay,
By the time he did that, he was fighting. His father was right in front of him.
right,
He was trying to kill. He was ready to kill Skeletor and save his kingdom. He realized his whole fantasy of his home was shattered. He thought he was gonna come home, everything gonna be fine,
right.
but everything's in ruins. Niggas are dirty. He got thrown in jail by
Mhm.
the people he admired the most. I
But
I think
I think his
but
anger stuff in that moment was more appropriate.
I think this
The
mhm.
goes
problem
back
is, I
to
think how he handled it afterwards when he's kind of move on.
I think, but that's
Mhm.
the thing. So you're talking about that scene, but this was the problem I had with Adam earlier. I didn't vocalize when we watched together, but it was like he comes home. Oh no, I think I did. I think we did talk about this briefly. He comes home and he realizes things are not the way he seems, but he's still jovial and he's still like, okay, sure, So for me, when he's doing that, and by the way, I understand it's the power fantasy moment. That's why it's really just for the power fantasy. But when he's in that moment, it's like this almost feels like a different character. I get why he could
Yeah.
I get why you could get there, but like it feels like a different character almost.
I have to have. I understand him still having hope, and then Skeletor kind of just tells him, "Hey yo, I've been fucking your parents up for 15 years.
Right.
I got your mom and your dad, nigga." Like, like I can understand for some people, like, I just was, oh, now this nigga gotta go. I didn't, like, you weren't. He was so stuck in his fantasy. I don't think he was really thinking about it. They
Right.
don't really ask about his parents when he gets back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's just
Yeah, he
kind of
just
like,
seems
oh,
like that.
it's you guys. Look, it's actually internal. He's still so in shock that everything is real, despite it being dirty. I do
Right.
think that was his earth-shattering moment. I'm like, oh yeah, my parents are alive, and they've been prisoners for 15 fucking years.
Yeah. No, I see it. I can see it. Um
Gotcha. But
any
yeah.
thoughts on them or do you want to go to the next thing?
Oh wait, there's one thing I wanted to bring up. Right, I'll have to take a better analysis of this when I see this movie again. But did you guys notice, like, a lot of the times, like, He-Man ends up losing his sword in the midst of the fight and having to go
Yes, and
hand
you
to
know what?
hand?
I'm glad you brought that
I
up
was fine with
because
that because
my goat noticed
yeah,
that too. Okay, I'm
What?
calling him Skeletor Jake. Okay, that's what I'm
Okay,
calling him.
okay.
Okay, this happened.
Skeleton.
There was a moment when he first becomes He-Man and he loses his sword, and I was mad and
Trap
Austin was
jaw.
there because there was a group of people just watching that sword on the fucking ground, and
Yeah.
I said if I was in that group, I would have snatched the fuck out of that sword. I would have been on the
Yeah,
ship
like,
on the way fucking home, bro. So
like
what the
he
fuck?
he He-Man already had his hands filled with Trapjaw. Like, what were Trapjaw's goons doing? Like
Right,
the sword fell to their side. Like,
right.
the, and this isn't
bro,
like
this is the
Mjolnir.
first time seeing the power. They didn't know. Okay,
But listen,
No, that's
but
not the same. Like, you take the weapon,
to,
dude. Like,
but
no,
listen.
no,
to be
no, no.
fair,
You know,
I was under the impression that these people saw this dude take the power from the sword and was like, well, I guess the sword's useless.
no,
That's
no,
what
no,
they
no,
No,
no.
because you know
The
what's
way
crazy? That
teleport,
wouldn't
the
be
way.
me. Cause this dude, this godly henchman, okay, he was fighting He-Man. He got the sword was knocked out of his hand. They were fighting for a bit. He's like, wait a minute. Turns
Hmm.
around, it's right there. Like he gets it.
Yeah,
It's like yes.
this isn't this
He
isn't
also tried to. He
Mjolnir,
also
by the
got out
way.
of. He also got out of He-Man's hand by jumping on him later in the fight too. So he
Yes.
had two
Yeah,
moments, and he got stabbed with it. Though, what was crazy.
Right.
yeah.
But he had two moments. I mean, the only henchman was like, "Oh yeah, we got to get the sword."
Look, I don't even want to give it to this main henchman because, like, you gotta remember, like, Skeletor made it his life mission for like the rest of his army to be like, we need to go after that sword. I don't care if it's like 15 years. I don't care if this
I think
Prince
that's.
Adam guy is in another universe. We need to get that sword because that sword's going to be what takes over the empire I built, basically. You
That would
know,
get
so.
undermined twice in this film, I think.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
like him getting the sword out of his hand, I was fine with only because we know, like we said, this dumbass ain't trained at all. He ain't try to learn how to do sword fighting.
No.
When
Yeah.
he ain't try to learn that shit. So
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
disarmed, like being a regular guy, which you is super strong, I can see him being disarmed a lot until the second film. And to
Hmm.
be fair, I did like seeing He-Man throw hands for a while.
Yeah. His hands
But
were working pretty well.
there are two moments here where Skeletor just proves he's stronger than his fucking sword. So he breaks the sword one time.
Yeah.
And then, like, his staff, like, overpowering He-Man with his sword multiple times. So it's like, you don't really need this shit, bro. Just go to Great Skull and take the power, like, to take their book.
Right.
Even when the sword
No,
gets,
To be
gets
fair, well, hold on. To be fair to Skeletor, when he broke the sword, he said, would you look at that? Like, I didn't know I could do that.
No, but it's like you didn't call this about this sword. You just shattered it pretty easily, bro.
Right.
yeah. What does Skeletor do with the remains of the sword? He stabs He-Man. And what does He-Man do when the sword gets fixed? He just puts it in his back
Yeah,
and just goes to defense.
because it was about sending a message. It was about sending a message.
Oh,
there was layers to this. Okay.
To be fair, To be fair, I do appreciate him not beating Skeletor with the sword.
Oh, come on. That's his own shit.
No, it's really not. You watch old He-Man, he throw hands quite a bunch. This dude that pushed the moon, okay? I've seen him hit Skeletor with the power of pushing a moon was very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, also, we know why he couldn't use the sword back in the original He-Man show because of the restrictions they had in children's shows.
Crypto, let me ask you this. Wait, hold on.
Sword He-Man.
Crypto, let me ask you this. What feels more masculine to you? Him just stabbing Skeletor or him putting the paws on Skeletor? What gives you more adrenaline, bro? Like,
The Skeletor fight was the greatest fight I've ever seen. He beat. He said, "Skeletor, let's talk." Skeletor said, "Nah." He beat Skeletor up. Skeletor said, "Got up." He had to fix his jaw and said, "Is that all you got, bro?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
That man said, "Oh no, I was just holding back, but here you go."
I was holding back, and then he beat the dog out again. And then Skeletor said, "All right, bro, we can talk." He said, "Nah, the talk is over." I was like, "No, this is good, bro."
And if you tell me that would have been him stabbing him with the sword would have been cooler than that, you've lost your mind. I'm sorry,
he punched his nigga's head off, bro. It was the funniest. It was the greatest thing I ever seen.
Yeah, that was so much testosterone, bro. That was.
I do agree in the sequel. He does. If they do get a sequel, if it is Hordak, like it seemed like it was setting up, you do got to kill Hordak with a sword.
Yeah.
We got the hands, we get the sword, and you can do something unique with the third one. If we got that far.
I'm just saying, I'm going to find that really, really odd if we do get a sequel audience and a certain other sword wielder just goes full on sword slashing every one of their opponents instead of just using their hands.
Well, I was still think He-Man's cooler. He-Man was still coming across cool.
Yeah, I expect the girl who's most likely was smart enough to train with her sword her whole life to continue using her sword compared to the dude who didn't.
Unless He-Man's fighting like a giant thing, bro, the sword doesn't really matter that much to me. I'm just more like, or he's fighting like an army. I get it, but there's something about just throwing the hands, bro. I'm like, yes.
In a show where He-Man punches a spell, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Or because I was rewatching that fight, getting this picture. I was just thinking about all the times he wasn't using the sword. He just grabs someone's shield, bashes him in the face with it. I'm like, yes. Yeah, or when he grabs that one guy and throws him in the ceiling and sticks him. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking cool.
He pinned a guy to a Sonic character's back, and then he punched this dude in a circle to turn him around, hit the other guy, turn him around again, hit the other guy. It was, bro, I really liked it.
Listen, She-Ra can come in with a little fancy sword, bro, but the real adrenaline comes from the muscles.
You didn't notice people didn't die in this movie? And besides
because Skeletor did not kill that many people. He was a very honorable man.
Yeah, no, not only that. It was like,
actually, real quick, Austin. Real quick,
Austin. Put
the mold. Well, hold on, Crypto. Put Skeletor on the screen.
No. I'm not talking about him. Yeah. All right, so I'm not talking about him. Go back. I'm not talking about Skeletor.
Oh, what are you talking
about? Okay.
Well, if you let me finish,
okay,
I will get to it.
Okay.
All right. So see, man, you throw me off. Both of y'all tried to hijack this topic, but I meant this is He-Man was pinning people through the chest with swords. He pinned the guy onto another guy with quills going all the way through his chest. There was no blood. There was no dying. These dudes got up and was in a final fight.
Sure. Yo, my guy survived. That's my headcanon. He lived.
The only two people to die was Mossman and the King and the Trapjaw. This whole film.
Yeah, he fucking his whole jaw obliterated off.
No, there wasn't a whole job obliterated. Man of Arms literally stuck a grenade in his
That's what I'm
mouth.
saying. It blew
I just
off.
said
bye,
trap.
bye,
Yeah, I
bye.
just said trap jaw. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. But no. Speaking of death, I guess we just still go to Skeletor. We still go there.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
I
yes,
ain't want to show that picture.
But I was like, I did like how this Skeletor was really a man of his word. Like
Yeah,
every time he said something, he
why?
really meant it.
Why was this Skeletor so fucking audible, bro? That man said, "If y'all don't tell me who that guy was, I'm gonna kill the women and children first, and then the men." Oh, that's Prince Adam. All right, let's go home.
It's like, all right, lock him up. All right, okay, well, lock him up. Like, fuck.
I just like that they didn't go the route of making him a sympathetic or understandable villain. Like there was a point where, like, I think it was Adam who was asking Tila, "Okay, why is Skeletor doing this? Oh, he's just bad. He's just evil. There
I
you go.
think
You don't need anything. Yeah,
That's why I like when he tried to talk to him.
Yeah, he was like,
"What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's like, listen, there's no good in me. There's no redemption. I didn't have a sad backstory. Whatever. I'm evil,
The
bitch.
the HR stuff come back in a unique way because he tries to talk to villains multiple times. Because while he can just beat the dog to him, he doesn't initially want to.
Right.
And I think that would make the turn of like, "Oh, you got my parents, I'm gonna kill you," like very interesting. Because he goes to Trap Jaw first. He's like, "Look, man, I know you want the sword and stuff, but I can't do that. Look, just let us go." Doesn't work. He goes to Skeletor and says, "Look, man, you're being a little problematic right now." I'm like, he's not using buzzwords, and Skeletor just looked confused, and he just started laughing. I'm like, "That's funny. That's good."
Yeah, back where I was living for the past 15 years, there's this thing called canceled Skeletor.
He tried to explain a workplace to his the team. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They didn't understand none of the HR terms. I think that what made the HR thing kind of worth it.
Right. But I will say Skeletor, I think the moment, because I was like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know. I think the moment where he fully won me over was in the mind control scene, and this dude just starts lifting like he's like,
I got a picture of this.
That shit was funny. I was like, I could not process it for a minute. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? You know what's funny? As a picture, it looked like an AI generated image. I would not believe it if I didn't see the movie.
I sent it. Cryptic. We should have it.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
I got the picture.
I would not believe this is real unless I saw this in the movie.
Okay, I did not like that scene at all, man. Again, this just goes back to like, I want the tension, man. I wanted to see a serious fight, man. But then
I knew you were about to be. I knew that bullshit you were talking about this.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. At like no point is like if He-Man's going all out, is Skeletor winning a fist fight with He-Man?
About this every week of an 80-year-old cartoon.
Yeah, there's at no point is Skeletor ever physically as strong as He-Man, unless if he gets a power buff from something else.
When it came to the final battle audience between Skeletor and He-Man, there comes a point where Skeletor goes into his mind, and you get like different phases of He-Man's life in Earth. And of course, starting off with this scene right here, where Skeletor's lifting weights, then it's him reenacting that date scene from the beginning. Then you see He-Man in HR. Then Skeletor comes in like a casual
Skeletor replaces the guy he hated.
With a coffee in one hand, with a coffee in one hand and his other hand on his hip with his elbow extended. I'm like,
what? But those things are as funny as they are. They have a point too, because it's Skeletor like trying to take away his masculinity and his like confidence. That's all it is. Because that's what. At the end of the day, he's like stripping He-Man of the.
He's like, oh, you're stronger than me. Let's look at you. Look, man, you can barely lift in the gym. Your ass. Or you're bad at your job. Your ass. You can't get a girl. Your ass.
Right, and it's like all the things that like it's all the things that's like men value. At least in an American, at least in most societies, I know that's all the things that men value. So again, and he just left on the
you're bad at work, and you're bad at women. Like that's the main thing a lot of people.
Yeah,
struggle.
Maybe if like Skeletor was kind of like playing like an evil Jiminy Cricket, like to the side to like taunt He-Man.
I thought that's what that was.
He was taunting him in the scene.
Well, no, but then to add like the whole costume changes Skeletor was having throughout these scenes and scenarios,
And it's like I think because of what that scene would have been to me, what I liked about these was that we've seen this.
Let him finish real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back to like that again, the HR scene where Skeletor's there in a casual suit, his hand on his hip, and a coffee in the in his other hand. Like, I just want to be serious. Can you be serious? Like,
But
you
I think
know?
that's the point. Like, because this scene, we've seen this scene a lot of times. There's always there's always some villain that's like, oh my god, you're like a piece of shit. You're like a bum. Fuck you. And but like I like that they played up the comedy of it because also tells you that Skeletor is not taking Adam seriously. He lost his powers. I have no reason. I can fuck with you and do whatever I want. It does
How do you
not
grow
matter.
up on the 60s or 80s show and then be like, oh, can you be serious in this moment?
Well, he's
He's never
recontextualizing
really
it
serious
today.
back then.
Well, because the argument would be like because He-Man's been serious since that. I get that argument. Right?
Yeah,
He-Man's been serious since
yeah.
that has happened.
I
Um,
disagree though.
Hey, Jay, hey, Austin, you gotta remember, I grew up with the original, the 2000s He-Man, which knew when
which
to
is
keep
serious. Yeah,
things
that is a serious
comedic.
show.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
which
goofy.
it knew when to think, it
But
knew when to keep things comedic, and it knew when to keep things serious. You know,
then that's
Oh,
fine. But they were clearly going for the 60s feel simply by
yeah,
because of the ending.
yeah.
So saying
Mhm,
I judge it by because I like the other show, I don't think it's that fair.
Yeah,
mhm.
all I'm judging
Clearly
it.
something's not right. Clearly something in this movie's not resonating with the general public. If not,
It wasn't
people
the
are
movie;
going
it was
so
the
hard with it.
marketing. That'll be we say the same
Okay.
about Transformers One.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I will say
But
that.
yeah, if you can't get people to come see the film, I like it's hard to say. It's hard for me to blame the film because the people ain't seen it, they judge it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, I will
Hmm.
I
say that.
get what
Like,
you're saying. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
thing your point, but it's a weird situation.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the thing about this though, the reason that I did take it seriously is because that's the point that he's not taking it seriously. Is like I don't need to take you
Hmm.
seriously, but you're not He-Man. You don't have powers. Like you're
Yeah,
just a guy. Like I could bully. I don't even have to do all this. If I wanted to, I could just beat the shit out of you and not be
he
innocent. But
casually threw the weight. This nigga flew through the wall, bro.
right, realistically, once Adam lost the sword, he could have just beat the way He-Man beats him later. That's all Skeletor had to do, but he didn't. He wanted to do this. It was fun for him. He was like,
I
oh,
think the gym scene pretty much fully encapsulates the scene. I feel like where it's like if you ever been to the gym or even been in gym class, if you fail, can't do the push up, everyone's laughing at you. It feels dismantling, and that's what Skeletor's doing in all these things.
yeah,
He's watching you fail, and he's laughing at you until you're at your lowest, which is when he's in the bedroom.
right. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like I said, I think it's just it was a joke, but then once the joke's over, like you realize like that was it was for
I
me.
can
It was very smart.
understand if you're saying, "Oh, well, my He-Man 2000." I can understand if you didn't like it. I think that's fair to a degree, but I
Hmm.
think for what they were trying to do, I think it worked fine.
Hmm.
But I do understand most of the crowd today is more like, "Oh, well, I don't like how they make jokes, but the shit is funny."
Hmm.
I if you come to me and tell me this nigga name is Fisto, I'm gonna laugh at you. It's like you watch this, you seen the Supergirl clip, the one that's going around.
I didn't. No, I'm not watching the
There's
trailers after the first one.
well, this is not a real spoiler. It's just when she first lands and she sees Superman. Her first thing is like, "Why'd you wear underwear?"
Right.
Because
Oh,
if people are mad at that, I'm like, if you don't know what this property is and you don't know something, the underwear is gonna be first thing you ask about because it's the first thing you notice about him. You know it's the symbol,
Mhm.
or you know it's the underwear. She knows what the symbol is. So of course she's like, "Why is this man in his drawers?"
The fucking grown ass man.
Yeah.
Fucking loser.
Especially because
Yeah.
she doesn't realize that's her cousin yet either.
No,
So
Mhm.
some strange guy just found her in his boxers. You know what I mean?
no.
Yeah.
People were mad about it.
I think, but yeah, like I said, I think comedy is fine. I think,
Comedy's
I think
subjective. It's just one of those things we're not going to always agree on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, comedy is subjective, but so for me, I watch comedies that like I don't even laugh at. I just
Like,
enjoy the story of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's
like,
like I'm more accustomed to looking at the jokes of like, okay, what is it doing for the story, and that's how I judge the real humor. I don't judge it by how funny it is. I judge it by like what is it doing for the story for me. And
I thought it was hilarious. This nigga got on a
no, this was
Nike
hilarious.
hoodie, bro.
Yeah, this was hilarious.
question, guys. Overall, do you think comedy was a pro or a con for this film?
Ultimately,
Oh,
it was a
bro, I
pro.
think you take away all the comedy. I think this movie's kind of boring until you get to the fight scene.
Not saying take away all the comedy, but there are moments you should have like.
But we
toned
agree with
down a
that. I mean,
bit.
we might
Yeah.
disagree on like
I'm not going to
where,
agree that
but we
all the
agree.
comedy is a
Yeah.
negative because some of them do work and some of them did have me dying, like this one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but I agree. Like I said, I guess to bring up an example, I didn't like Cryptid. I don't know if you agree with me on this. I don't like the Highlander thing they did. You know what I'm talking about? The
So when they go into the
yeah,
final fight, they're walking through the smoke and then everyone
All
starts
that.
coughing and dying except for a man at arms.
Yeah.
That's the joke we were talking about. That joke went on too long. Jake did not like the
Yeah.
beginning part where they start tripping and stuff, and then only men aren't get the cool scene. But then they kept playing the song for like 10 more minutes.
Right.
Mhm.
It was like you
Yeah.
should have cut off the moment the joke started. Like that should have been there.
Yeah, 'cause that was an
Mhm.
example of like what I was saying earlier, where it's like sometimes like when something's cool, just let it be cool. Like they're gonna walk together, they got the master of the universe are coming, and like the Highlander things play. Let the shit play. But like that,
Yeah,
that's
Mhm.
like when you're
that's
taking
that
me out
whole
the scene.
section where they're like, "Oh, give him head, Ram Man," or double fist him, fisto, whatever the fuck they were saying. Like that's that whole
Mhm.
section, and that's the only real comedy part I would trim down and cut out. To be honest,
Yeah.
so I'll
There's
trim
another
beginning and trim here, and I think everything else works pretty well.
there is another joke I want to get to, but it's when we talk about Man of Arms.
Okay.
So
Well, I guess
But
finish it.
wait, hold
Finish
on.
it.
So
Okay.
what with Skeletor? I do think this is Jared Leto's best performance.
yeah,
I think even like dialogue, he doesn't sound like Skeletor, but once you hear the way he voices lines later, it feels like over the course of the movie he's learning his character, like he's trying to figure out his
Mhm.
way. So
yeah.
when you get back to the Act Two, when he first showed up, Act Two, I think he has it down. His relationship with Evil Lynn, especially, is very fun. Uh, they're like that's the Mossman Joe brought up earlier. He was like, "I bring that guy. Who is that? Who is this man?" And she was like, "Oh, that's Moss Man," and that's how he got named.
She
And he
has
moved
it like Moss man.
man. And I thought that was a funny way to give the villains their names because obviously Adam didn't do that because he didn't see half these niggas, to be honest. He don't know Triclops stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So just having Skeletor and Evelyn not know these dudes' names and just be like, oh, well, like Beastman doesn't get his name at all in this one. I think he called him the Beast as most of the time. I think Men at
I
Arms called
also
him Beastman at one point.
I thought Skeletor called him Beastman once, but I could be
He
wrong.
probably did. To be fair, I don't remember. I just remember.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're right. Skeletor called him Beastman once, and Adam just says Teelan says the Beast.
hmm
But they never heard this man's name. They're just kidding. He doesn't talk in this
And to
movie.
be fair, the villain names are a lot easier to sell than some of the hero names
Yeah.
because yeah, you could
Yeah.
just kind of get
Evil
away
Lynn,
with it.
why they're Evil Lynn? She's evil. There you go. I named her that. Skeletor, that's they just a name, to be honest.
Triclops,
Um,
self-explanatory. You know, all of them pretty good. Yeah.
hmm
but
Yeah.
I do think, well, no, Crypto, I will give you this. While I didn't mind him in HR clothes, the joke he said during that scene, I hated.
hmm
If you don't know, the joke he said in that scene is the one he's talking about He-Man's huge sword between his legs.
Oh boy.
That joke, and because he was supposed to be violent HR, supposed to show like the toxic masculinity workplace thing that He-Man was talking about earlier. And I was like, no, that joke flipping sword. I'm fine with the outfit thing because you already established that's how he goes through your memories. He put himself in the scene. That's fine for me. But that joke was too far. Because you had that after we already had the Ram Man, give him head Ram Man, the Fisto stuff, and all that other stuff. So by that time, I was done with those type of jokes.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about Cringer?
I didn't really want to. They didn't really do anything. So I'll go say when we talk
I just gonna say I
about.
didn't like Cryptid as someone who
There's
likes
one
the
thing I
idea of
didn't like.
Cringer. I didn't like that he was just brave the whole time. I was like he was just barely a bit. Like he
Yeah.
actually knew how to fight.
He was a coward until the fight started. And then he was like the most confident guy there. He's the only person that he won his fight off so well off screen that they all reacted to Skeletor killing He-Man without like no problem.
There's one thing I really didn't like when it came to Cringer, right? Okay, towards the end, like this is where I wanted the testosterone boosting moment, right? You know, He-Man coming into battle, riding on Battle Cat, like with a sword in one hand, running at full speed. Well, no, I'm talking about like during the final battle, right? And then Cringer comments, I need to get an armor next time." And I was like really upset about that because, like, to me, that was like the writers thinking that they were going to get a sequel, like
they did.
On choice.
But they really did. They really War Machine this nigga. We're like next time, baby.
Next time, baby. But then they ended up giving him the battle armor.
Oh yeah,
anyway,
they did. They did.
That was my problem with it. You gave it to him in the final scene where he goes when they go to the village to defend them.
And then we didn't even get to see him do the summoning thing. He's like,
now you. That was my
Yeah.
problem. I was okay with him not having an arm in this film because he been still learning the power and stuff. He did not. No one told him he could even give it to someone else. He didn't. He had no idea. So him randomly doing it would have been like, oh, it's just here for the fans type moment. So I was like, okay, they want him to learn the powers over the course of the films. Sure, whatever. But then you just did it off screen in the final moment. So like he just did it. Then what's the point?
Yeah. Why couldn't you give him the battle cat armor in the final battle? Like,
Yeah,
Like,
believe
Oh,
it or
like
not,
how cool would it have been? It's like
Krieger bravely fought Beastman. He won that fight somehow off screen.
how cool would it have been if he was like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I want to do all this. And then like Source is like, yo, point that sword at him real quick. Bah! Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I think they also made him braver and stuff because watching He-Man force this cat to fight is animal
Right.
cruelty.
That is true. That is true.
Hey.
And
All
no,
hands
no, no,
on
no,
deck.
no, no. And while we and obviously anyone we know about He-Man would be okay with that because that's just the dynamic between these two. Krieger can fight. Krieger is brave, can be brave, but he's a coward. But he's not gonna let Adam die. Adam's literally fighting. He will take the power himself if he needs to.
Yeah.
But most audience wouldn't know that about this character. So they're going to see this cat not want to fight. And then He-Man basically Gene Gray's this nigga. Well, yo, you're about to fight for me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess you want to split bits through some of the minor characters on this list?
No, no, no. There's another character I want to talk about. So
Yeah, let's talk about Ben Arms first, and then we talk about the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Why did they
Okay,
come drunk?
no.
Cryptid?
I actually like this. No, this pretty
That's
good.
not, that goes on to like, okay, you could have toned the humor down. Look, okay, so when they finally come back and find Man at Arms, like, I get what they were going for.
Clean-shaven?
I think
Yeah.
in the jail, like,
Oh.
yeah, like I get what they were going for. This is basically a broken Man of Arms. Like, he lost
Yeah.
everything. The
He
kingdom is
failed the
gone.
kingdom. He almost got his daughter killed. He almost died. The
Yeah.
prince is missing. Yeah, he's not in the best place.
Yeah, but then they just kept like going all a little bit jokey of the character. I mean, especially that there was like this one moment I felt like they could have given him a cool moment, right? It's like when they're trying to escape like those other ships, like and like Man of Arms said like he could pilot one of those hovercrafts and
That did go on a
Sheila
bit
told
long for
him
me.
no.
I'll
No,
admit
no,
that.
no, no.
Yeah, that did go on a bit.
I half agree. This dude was drunk off his fucking ass. I'm not letting this nigga fly this shit.
This is the
I
middle
will
of the
say,
day,
I
like
will
it's like
defend Cryptid
I don't
on.
give a fuck.
I'm gonna defend Cryptid real quick. I'm gonna defend Cryptid real quick.
Driving kill
Yeah.
people all the time.
I'm gonna defend Cryptid real quick. I'm gonna defend Cryptid real quick. After
Right.
rewatching 2000s, I forgot how much of a badass Man of Arms was in that show. So I'm like,
That's part of
that's
the
his
story.
Man of Arms. This was not gonna do it. That was that dude was a badass.
So that's why So that's why I was fine with that scene, and I want him to be badass later when he had the whole bridge fight instead of doing let me just shoot the statue. I want him to actually fight those people after they blew up the robot.
Right.
I think that
Yeah.
could have been like his big thing because realistically, like I said, I'm not letting this drunk ass nigga fly the ship. And
But though
it didn't give us
there are
a
only
moment
two
where
options.
He-Man is stopping the ship by himself with his pure hands.
No,
Yeah,
no. There are two options you could have gone. Like it was either Man of Arms dude fly on that bike, or you send He-Man who has had no experience riding a vehicle like that in his
Well,
life.
okay, I will
To
defend
be-
Tila
to
for that
be
because
fair,
okay,
yeah.
okay, you gotta
Go
look for
ahead,
Tila's perspective. She has no idea what was on Earth. She showed up, got Adam, and left. She has no idea what was on Earth at all. All she knows is that they have cars, which is something they don't have. And so she was like, I guess they could drive. Fuck, drive the thing.
Yeah.
So, I'll defend her for that.
So you're saying, it's better to have a drunk driver than someone who's learning how to drive.
Right.
Well, this is the middle of the day they got
Well,
it at. He was just
also,
waking up.
Crypt, you gotta also understand. The thing
He's
is,
been
like,
drunk
it's
for
He-Man.
50 years, and then after the scene, they double down on him being drunk off his ass, and then trying to get more drunk with He-Man when they crash. That's why I do. You put that nigga in that car, he's gonna kill himself.
Also, it's He-Man, so he's fine. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's He-Man. Like, like what are they gonna do? Like, I just saw him like.
He-Man will be fine. He-Man will be fine, but those other ships were aiming at Tila and their ship. So, like,
and that's why when He-Man got out and grabbed one with his bare hand and threw it at the other one, it was cool.
I think the best thing you could have done was have the serve bot on a turret or something, but that's about it. I would have put my
like that. I'm not putting drunk on here. And the other thing, right after that, you do the next drunk scene. And she clearly has no faith in this nigga. As a person. So I was fine with it. That's why I want him to redeem himself later, not with his serve bot. I mean, that whole scene in the bridge should have been him and Tila versus Evelyn and the army standing behind her with Trapjaw.
Right.
But instead, we get some random the robot helper who apparently is a character in the comics. I mean, the book that's nothing like this.
It's supposed to be Roboto. It's supposed to be like this whole
Yeah,
Geppetto Pinocchio sort of relationship
but
between him
like,
and the robots. But for some
yeah, I
reason,
would.
they decided to make Roboto female audience. I don't know why, but okay.
You should have just did him and Teal. I feel like you could have redeemed that moment with a later moment, and you just never really got to that point.
Yeah, because
My
his
problem with Man at Arms was when we go back to the beginning of the movie. Jake had this problem with me. I was gonna let it slide until later in the film. The
Mhm.
technology in the universe makes no sense. And when I say this, is in the sense of like Skeletor has these thousands of flying ships, no explanation. No, we don't know how. They have guns on the other shit. He-Man's nation has guns, but it's not like the top two, like four people got guns. And then everyone else has swords. And then Man at Arms has two guns in his fucking leg. I'm like, nigga, you don't pass some weapons out? We're losing. And we were looking at this like, why this fantasy world? Like, you did nothing to set up in this fantasy world. Them having this level of technology. And we know, like, in like later cartoon stuff, we find out the technology stuff come from them, like, finding old pieces of, like, Hordak stuff and, like, repurposing it and stuff like that. But they don't do that in the show. So it just feels like Skeletor, this mystical, magical man, can build, like, starships for some reason.
it's like
And
it's
Man
like
at
they're
Arms feel like
playing.
that too. It's like you're making guns, you're making Man at Arms, and arms are guns, but you're training everyone in sword fighting.
It's like
Where's
He-Man's
the
team
light
is
coming?
playing Lord of the Rings, and like Skeletor's playing Guardians of the Galaxy. And like, well, wait a minute, where'd you get all that? Like, hold on. It's like, it was distracting for me, and it made Man of Arms seem bad at his job because he's the tech guy. He's the guy who makes all the
You're
tech.
the tech guy. You're the Man at Arms with guns and stuff, and you're training niggas in sword fighting. You only
Right.
use a sword one time in this film.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you know,
There's also one scene I wanted to add that I wish I could have cut off. It was just there for the sake of a joke. It was between Man of Arms and Tila, where during the final battle, Man of Arms tells Tila, "You're the man I wish I could become." I'm like,
I
really,
didn't hear that joke. I didn't hear that joke. I
really,
No, Jake, Jake. That's when they hug.
Oh.
yeah,
At the bridge. Okay.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm
yeah.
proud of you. Because the thing was, Tila had to
That's
step
her
up and basically
daughter.
do. No, the point is that Tila had to step up and basically be the man of the kingdom because this fucking idiot was drunk on his ass 15 years. And so in his mind, he's like, I now. And she used to look up to me and try to live up to me. Now you have to try to live up to what she is to us. The problem is it's not portrayed well at all.
No.
Like I could somewhat understand if Man of Arms were to say, okay, you're the warrior I wish I could be, but then to say like you tell your own daughter, you're the man I wish I could be.
That's no.
Like,
I would have took it cryptic if she took it in a negative way.
yeah, she took it as a negative way. She was like, huh? And then they hugged.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm saying. But if it was like that was the end of the scene where it's like you're the man, she's like, what the fuck? I think it would have been fine. But the problem is he said that. He hugged her and she just accepted it. And then he made it something like, yeah.
it was there just for the sake of a joke. Like that's one thing I would have cut out of this film. You know, like
Yeah, if he was drunk and if he was like sobering up and said that would make more sense to me. I'd be like you're the man I wanted to be. Oh, you're drunk. Okay, whatever. I guess. But I will say, but they do keep the core of Man at Arms thing where he's supposed to be like a second father to Adam. You know, like you know, it's not like in the 2000s when he's like
moments are those scenes of talking to Adam because he's also the one that encouraged Adam to man up. And like, yeah, Skeletor did the stuff. You need to man up. We have to go face Skeletor. And this leads to He-Man's decision to be like, fuck it, he got my parents. I'm gonna go square up alone. It don't matter to me.
Right.
And all that shit, believe his parents dying. And so you see men all trying to reconcile that, like, I fucked up, I realized that. And look, I understand you are going through something. I'm not a feelings person. But if you need a man to talk to and work it out, you just need like the training. So I've been like to go fight it out sometimes. You get the most out. Kind of like when Johnny Storm died and Thing needed to fight to finally like fully accept the situation.
Yeah.
He was trying to be that for Adam. And I think that worked pretty well after everything his dad said about I went about the wrong way trying to tough you up. and all I did was end up cutting you down and embarrassing you in front of everybody.
Right.
And I
Mhm.
think that also cuts back to what the Skeletor thing. Of Skeletor doing it in his memories, all these in front of all these people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now that
But
Yeah.
it
said,
is what it is.
I do kind of miss 2000 where he's like He-Man's finest soldier, bro. Like he's like he's like the leader of the Masters of the Universe. Like he's
That was
like
my problem with
the
the 2019 one, where it's like the first season he's cool, but it's very clear they're setting up for him to give his role to that brand new black character they made who got the comic.
No.
And I
Andra,
was
yeah.
like, I understand you're trying to do like, oh, it's a new era He-Man situation, but it's like we just got these characters. Can we keep them for a while? Like we can do another show after this and change it.
Right.
But we
Yeah.
just got reunited with these
The female,
people. You're replacing them
the
immediately.
Right.
the female character audience who keeps referring to herself as Man of Arms. Like,
Yes.
To
You
be
can call
fair,
woman.
woman, no, no. To be fair, woman armor sounds terrible. I kind of would have kept man armor too.
nah, man. Like, I still remember talking to like my brother-in-law. I mean, when I was
You
trying to show
kidding?
him brother-in-law about like the new He-Man Revelations, and then when he saw like Andra, like, why is she calling herself Man of Arms?
Cricket, if
Like,
you want, if it hurts you that bad, we can call her by
yeah,
her abbreviation. Would be Ma.
There you go.
what?
Moa. It'll be
Man
Moa.
and arm. MAA. Ma.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Ma.
Ma,
Yeah, you're
ma.
right.
Okay, whatever. Ma,
Yeah.
whatever.
All right.
He's also
Let's.
apparently going to be the next king of Eternia at some point or something like that.
Hey, the democracy of Eternia.
Let's cycle to Tila if we're done
Oh
here.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So he was the most mixed bag in the show. He has good scenes. He has bad scenes, but
Mhm.
they
Well,
tried something with him. It just
Mhm.
didn't work out well.
you say
Go
most
ahead,
mixed
Dylan.
bag. You say most mixed bag. I say Tila's the most mixed bag for me.
I would disagree. I think Tila's interesting because clearly she was the older. I won't say older sister, but they were
Mhm.
young, so you probably did see her as an older sister at the time before they were separated 15 years of the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
She wasn't a bully. She was trying to encourage him, help him up, even though her father and the king was kind of like, man, this dude's a bitch, bro. Uh, so if she's still 15 years later, she sees him all big and bigger than her, but she still seems like this dude's a pussy. Like, why is he running right now? Help me fight Beastman. So I think her character up to that, like Dick said, she don't stay on Earth that long, so she kind of assumes that Adam remembers or knows how to do certain stuff based on the little limited stuff she saw on Earth. She saw
Mhm.
cars, she saw people looking at her ship and stuff, but like they're not looking like
The,
the fear
the
or anything. So I guess
skyscrapers they have alone, like the cities they have, are like
yeah,
biblical compared to what they got. Like so, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So she's expecting like a super competent dude, and Adam's like not like that. The problem is
Mhm.
they started setting up a romance between these two, and that romance don't really kick off until she sees him as He-Man. You get the
Mhm.
feeling that they're friends stuff
Is it-
beforehand, but her attraction don't start until the He-Man part happens.
Also,
Yeah.
like I
So
think
when they keep
Even
circling
after.
back to it, it feels weird.
I also think
Even
some of her
after.
dialogue is not great because there's a difference between thinking he knows how technology works and then it's like he's like, well, you should know the social situation. I'm like, I've been gone for like 15 years. Woman, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? What? No, this shit.
To be fair, Jake, any competent person would show up, see the kingdom ravaged, their parents and stuff are gone. They'd be like, "Oh, we got slaved.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it's not even
Oh,
that. It's like
we lost."
I can't remember exactly what she said. There was like multiple times where she was saying things like there was no way he would know that. Like
Yeah,
I
there
don't
were
even know
two
he would
moments
think.
specifically where he was. There's no way he would understand what you're talking about.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a serve bot.
Gotcha.
I didn't have that when I was a kid. What do you? I guess I
No,
don't
no, 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 no.
know.
No, that's my problem though. No, no, no. He apparently did have that as a kid. Because Man
Oh,
Arms later in the film says that that was the Serbots were the original like people to help protect the kingdom when Adam was a kid, and then after
oh.
Skeletor won the fight, they made them remove their weapons thing. That's why Man Arms just
Mhm.
had it on him.
So he just gave guns to everybody but the people. That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. I was confused. Like, what do you do? You can't train these. Or do you control the robots? They don't really do that either.
Right. You were gonna say something. I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh no. Well, I mean, I was just about to refer to like a joke they tried making on TL, which may or may not have stuck with people. Like when there was that tender
Oh, when they're on
moment
the ship.
between, yeah, it was like the tender moment like between Adam and Tila, where she was like saying like there's never been a day that went by that I didn't think of you, and it looked like they were about to kiss. She was saying all these nice
Yeah,
things,
as a
wanting her
friend,
to
as a
say
friend.
Either
as a friend. Yeah,
That's what I
like a
was
little brother,
saying.
like a little brother.
I
That
think
was
it's
my
like
problem. That's what I meant because like her romance thing, that thing happens after the He-Man thing. If that happened
Hmm.
before, I think you could do the romance thing a little bit more clear. Like, oh, obviously, like because they were nervous, but that scene happens after she only shows real attraction to him after seeing him
Hmm.
muscle up as He-Man, and the whole
Yeah,
him lifting up the ship. She's like, whoa, all that stuff.
I came up with
yeah,
this idea just off the dome. I think the idea is that what she said was true, but also as she's saying it, she's looking at like this very handsome guy. So I was like, yeah, I am sexually attracted to that, but also I was telling you, I was being honest. I was thinking about you every day because you were my friend. You know what I mean?
I think this plot would have benefited like from what Crypto was saying, where like he should have been really skinny. He wasn't He-Man.
Yeah.
hmm
I think it
yeah,
was more
yeah.
believable.
Yeah.
When you don't show she's just physically attracted to the muscles, but the muscles don't really change.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, aside from that, like I did like her character throughout this film. I mean, she was strong, she was a warrior, she was
She only
gorgeous.
took charge when she needed to, which like
Mhm.
this is what a lot of people got turned off from the film because I saw there's a clip where her telling him what to do on the ship, and it's the ship where the
Yeah.
part where like she tells him to get on the motorcycle, like you have to go out and do something, and people
Mhm.
took that as oh it's gonna be like the 2019 one where she's just telling him everything to do, and I'm like this is the dynamic between Tila and Adam has always been. He
Right.
was that his sworn sword basically. That's his protector.
Mm.
I
And with
get
Adam being a pussy, she was the one who had to step up. Adam
right.
doesn't know anything about this world, so of course she's giving him pointers at this part of the film. When you get with
Right.
later part of the film, even after, right after this scene, she just follows his lead to the end of the film.
Mm.
Look, I can see how this could rub off some people the wrong way because, like, the trio is really He-Man, Duncan, and Tila, right? But
What
Tila
is
is
Duncan?
literally
That's Man of Arts. That's his real name.
Man of Arms. Yeah.
Mm.
What the same
Okay.
Roto?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but
Duncan.
like,
That
but
Warlock?
Tila, yeah, but Tila is like literally the only competent person in that trio at the moment.
Yeah.
So I can understand if people are taking that the wrong way, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say
Mhm.
for all the badass women shit they did, they still had a fight where it was just woman versus woman at the end. I was like, well, shit,
Yeah.
fuck
I
these
did
men.
still like her being Evil Lynn's opponent. Because both of them aren't really giving their all. They both not really invested in the fight.
Mhm.
I mean, it was like, well,
And
we can just get the fuck out of here.
They had
Like,
no vendetta. They had no vendetta against each other. It was like,
yeah.
okay,
So Evil
He-Man,
Lynn's first thought
Skeletor.
is like, we just leave. Like we don't have to fight it.
Yeah. It was like, He-Man, Skeletor, Cringer, Beastman, and okay, so I guess it's the woman versus the woman, I guess,
Yeah,
so.
I just
Yeah.
thought maybe she should
I
fight
really
Beastman because Beastman beat her ass at the beginning. Maybe find a way to win. I don't know.
that would have been the girl boss thing. The dude's
Yeah.
overpowering her, beating her, get her to be in
Well,
the film. He
you
go
just
through
outsmart
no
him.
he go through no development, and then she just beats him in the end.
Well,
That would have been the girl boss.
you just outsmart him or
Having
something.
her land fight and then Lynn just
Well, you know what you
not
do. You know
really
what you
get into
do.
it, so she's like, "Oh, just go." I
You
guess.
know what you do. It would ruin one of my favorite Evelyn jokes, and we'll talk about it. But you would have had
Yeah.
Cringer and Tila be Beastman.
Do we have an Evil Lynn photo? I think I got one.
We do. I saw it. I saw
Yeah.
it.
All right, we'll talk
But
about it.
you would have had Cringer because Cringer's like a scared bitch, but Tila's on his side, so they could do it together. You could do like that. That could have done something.
Evil Lynn was a great part of the movie because at the beginning, when Skeletor made this cringy joke, she's the main one not reacting. He looks at her like, "This is the time. You're my second command, and you're supposed to be like, you're supposed to hype me up. This is the moment. I stopped for pause and laugh. You're supposed to laugh or something." And she's like, "I'll remember it next time." And the next two times he does it, she immediately laughs. Like and you see her. If you look in the background, Jake, you'll see her like moving her hands and telling like the henchman,
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah,
Come on,
yeah. My favorite joke with her is when Skeletor is getting the paws put on him, and you could see her just go like, "Oh fuck, I'm getting out of here. I'm fuck, Jesus Christ!" That shit was killing me.
To be honest, like I would have liked them to have just shown her a little bit more evil and sadistic, but like I don't know, maybe it's just me,
I
but
agree with that to a degree.
yeah, because maybe it's just me, but like when I saw her in this film, she kind of felt more like Skeletor's secretary or just.
I
a
would forget she was there
henchman,
sometimes. I forget she was
Yeah.
there.
I was fine with that because my biggest fear going to the film was there was one in 2019 or where
Yeah.
actually she was in love with Skeletor. She's all this and she's all that, and she's actually the secret main villain. She's just using He-Man. She just used Skeletor to get the power from him
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So watching
Yeah.
her just be strictly the second command for the first film, I thought was fine. because you could have her betray him and become like a bigger bad with Hordak stuff in the second film. Because
Mhm.
people are like we pretty much see that we're talking about spoilers. She-Ra
Yeah.
is going to be in the second film. Well, would have been.
Yeah.
So that means Hordak
Yeah.
would have been in the second film, and he would need a second in command that's shown competence, and he'll need someone who understands magic, and that would be Evelyn.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She will. She will.
So I was
Yeah.
fine with like almost every scene she had. Like she made the Mossman joke work. Uh, she her not having any real vendetta and already just being choked out by Skeletor beforehand made her watching get his ass whooped and be like, "Well, I guess I'll just head out." With like a very good
You ain't
moment.
gonna get me. Fuck. Oh,
I think they did really good on her outfit. But like Crib said, her name's Evelyn. She's not really evil. She's more like I'm just kind of I'm
Yeah.
person following the evil.
Right.
He's evil.
I'm
I'm
more
just
like
Lynn.
yeah, yeah.
The Secretary of Evil. Like
I'm Lynn from The Office. I'm just here
pretty
for it.
much. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
It's also her plan and to after she finds out that for some reason Skeletor can't use the sword, it's her plan to go to Castle Grayskull and try to put the sword back in his conduit and then like suck it from the source of the castle
Right.
into
Mhm.
Skeletor.
Which we find out would not have worked. So he would have done all that.
Yeah, so it would not have worked anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess she's just lucky Skeletor didn't win and she just got murdered anyway.
Right. He-Man
Yeah.
really saved her life, if you think about it. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right,
And she
next
had
up-
a role. It wasn't a huge role. It was good though.
Yeah.
Those things were okay.
yeah.
Anyway, you guys want to talk about the minor characters before we go on to the She-Ra topic?
Well, we can split blitz them, yeah.
Let's just go. So we got Mega Neck. His
I
joke was
hated his
stupid.
character.
His power was stupid. It was dumb.
I hate it because it was just the joke. Listen,
There's
first
no
off,
way after everything you said, the guy with the extending neck, the line that you like.
First off,
no.
he does the same shit Reed does, where he does stretchy shit for no reason. Fuck him. Secondly,
Well, no.
the joke is too played out.
What I don't think that was like a joke. Really, I mean, like he was more like of a display of his powers. Or
Hold on,
making fun of his
you don't
neck.
think when he's doing the
You
whole
don't think every
thing?
2 seconds him stretching his neck higher and lower, higher and lower
don't
every
think-
other scene is not a joke?
You don't think when Prince
He's
Adam
the
is in the
what?
cell and he's going one by people, instead of raising his hand, he stretches his neck up. He's like, "What about me?" Like,
Okay, that was one joke they could have taken away. I can read that, but like when it came
He
down
has
to the
a sex
final
joke
battle,
too. I just forgot what it was. All three of them got a sex jokes for some reason.
okay, but like when it came to the final battle, he was whipping people. He was literally whipping people with his neck. So
Wow, he's a man giraffe. Fuck off, bro. I don't need
hey, I'm
Well,
sorry.
he is from the show. He is on the show.
Katakuri from One Piece fan. Oh, you doubt his skills, fan?
I'm just saying.
What?
Listen. I know it's the well.
Black guy?
If he can do more, I don't like the giraffe guy in One Piece. I don't like Kaku.
Come on.
I will say
When
feels like
Kaku turned into a box, I was done, bro.
it feels like Man of Arms. Like I know it's the toy, so they have if they're gonna put him in, he has to do that, and he is one of the main masters of the universe, so I get it. But it feels like Man of Arms should just make him stretch out his arms too, maybe his legs. Like why just the
Yeah,
neck?
can you fix this dude? Why is he gesturing that?
Right. That's a bit weird.
I think that's my problem. Like even like with Fisto and Ram Man. Ram Man is probably the most complete fighter out of the three of these dudes. He can
Yeah.
fly through forward. He can jump up, jump down, cause little mini quakes, all that stuff. Why you only gave Fisto one glove?
That's his brother.
Yeah.
That's his brother.
No, but it's like if these weren't toys, it would just be dumb choices for no reason.
To be fair, like I would think like at a certain point, like if you're a kid just thinking of names, right? Fisto wouldn't be. Well, it might have been the first draft, but I would have called him Iron Fist. But you know why?
Yeah.
You know why they couldn't do that? So
You could have called him Steel Fist. You could have gave him two and gave him a name about both hands, Iron Hands. You could do like anything.
yeah.
But you get why did you make me do one glove and said on to the next person?
Right. I mean, that said, shout out to them just being toy accurate for what they did have to.
Yeah,
but,
to be fair, because most shows would not do it. They made these really accurate. They felt accurate. They fought. You see Red Man use his power 3 different ways without not expecting actually them doing the film. I thought they were going to breeze past it, to be honest.
Yeah.
You see him do the juggernaut thing where he's just flying straight at you and everything. So shout out to these three. But it really is an ineffective army. I feel like you could Ben arms could do better.
Right.
Gotcha. Also, you guys gotta
Oh yeah,
remind me who is
they
this
was there.
person?
They were one of the
Yeah.
guns. They're one of the guns right there.
Yeah. She
Okay.
was the guy. She was the girl who stuffed Adam in the locker one time.
This is Tila. What the fuck are you
Wait.
talking
Oh my
about?
God.
Oh no. Oh, I'm thinking the other girl. My bad.
No, okay, when you brought up this picture, I thought it was supposed to be that other girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought
I don't even remember her
You
name.
saw. Wait, no. Go back to the other Tila picture.
Yeah.
You saw this wearing the same clothes as this. I mean, go to the other
Well, like
photos.
soldier in the army and type shit. Yeah.
Oh no, Austin, you just gave me all
No.
these pictures, and I just had to
I
quickly
gave you the other
upload
photo.
them.
I didn't realize I gave you this photo. The other photo was the one I wanted for Tila.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the no. This okay. This
Well,
you
we'll
gave
use
me a
that to
bunch of
substitute.
photos, and I couldn't analyze all of them at once. Remember, you
Yeah,
gave
we'll
me this in
substitute.
the last half hour, man. Come
We'll
on.
substitute. We'll substitute this for the girl.
Okay.
She was there, and that was it.
The other girl was just
Okay.
Adam's childhood bully that we did not see bully him.
Right.
Unless she pushed him one time, we just missed it at the beginning of the movie.
What
And
was her
her
name?
power, I don't remember her name.
No, I don't know.
I thought that was going to be their way of bringing in Andra. Like,
To be fair, I don't think he ever said her name. Once he wanted people to like, hey, yeah, I remember you. You're a bully. You're my
I think they
child bully.
should.
You
I
ain't know
think they
her
should
name.
have shown that he got bullied. Because that actually been interesting. Because could you? He's first off, he's a prince, so her bullying him is crazy. So I imagine he would go home, tell his
To
dad, "Hey,
be
this
fair,
girl's
if you
picking
see
on
the,
me."
if, no,
No, so
if you see
like
the
he would
king
go home.
bullying,
He would
no,
go
if the
home and
king
tell his dad
openly
he's.
bullies his own son, of course people gonna bully him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They
But
don't
that's
care.
like so the girl will push him in the locker, and him being a kid, he would go to his dad and he'd be like, "This girl's picking on me." But
No, him. He
right
went to his
back, like,
mom. This is a pussy, bro.
yeah, he does. No, I'm saying like that would have been more adding more credence to the masculinity thing.
Nah.
Where like they're like, yeah, girls bullying you, so what? Just fuck her up. Like, I
Nah.
don't know. Like I thought that would have been like interesting.
That can't be the first time his dad did it in front of everybody. I was like, his
No,
dad
no.
was already doing that in front of everybody. So if he's going to cry about something, he's going to his mom. His dad gonna see him like, dude, my son's a bitch.
Well, I was like,
bro.
I would have.
God damn.
I would have added that scene of just showing like why she could get away with that. Because it does like at face value, it's like, well, he's the fucking prince. Why would he be able to do that? She
I mean, in face value, they showed even the dad bullies him. I think it's
right, but
perfectly
that's what I'm saying. But
understand why his dad
I would have
bullied.
added to that where like
The question is, why did Tila let it happen?
that is true. Or maybe she did do something we just don't see it. Like there's no context to that. But I would have had it. I would have just had that scene because it adds later to the dad's death. Where he's like, you know what, I did kind of fuck up. I did. I was trying to protect you, but I did kind of go about the wrong way. So I thought maybe that having that would have added more to that. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, he doesn't remember her name in the scene. I think Fitzo called her name at one point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't catch the character. She only gets one other fight scene, so I didn't really think it mattered. I don't even get a photo of her. Fitzo and Ram and them like at least get multiple scenes.
Nope. But at least you remember Mechanic scenes, all right?
Like we didn't even do Beastman, and Beastman had a whole opening thing. He has no character. He doesn't talk.
Yeah, he had a very SA looking moment with Tila for a second.
We even had like Triclops, and Triclops get like 3 scenes, and he doesn't talk at all either. He has 3 scenes to shoot someone.
Yeah. But I guess we should go to the post credits. I guess.
Okay, let me bring up the picture.
That's not the actress from She-Ra, just a stand-in.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
well, that
I
might as well be
ask
the
that,
actress for
you know?
She-Ra. But
I thought they were pulling a Thanos situation where you just go straight back of them and wait for an actual cast.
The dude, well, that basically is what he did. Where it's like I have actors in mind, but there's no point in paying her to stand in the scene for 2 seconds. But Prince Adam rolls up on the village that was he heard a village having this stress call in the movie. He goes there riding Cringer or Battlecat, and he meets her.
And for whatever reason, he needs to go into hiding to transform to He-Man. I had to make a joke about that.
Well, to be fair, I guess we should talk about the ending scene too, because the whole ending part is where they try to bring back the name joke again. And I almost think it works here because they did not ever hear him call himself He-Man. And even as a kid, if you first hear He-Man, it's not a great name.
No. I thought that shit was tough as a kid. I was like, yeah, He-Man, yeah. Like,
no.
That was tough to be.
I think so for me as a kid, who already knows Superman and Spider-Man, I was like, He-Man. Why the fuck did he name himself 2 males? Like, what's the adjective in this name?
I was like I
saw like Ultraman or something. Like, where's the
I saw He-Man on the title. I said, that's a bit weird. And then the theme kicked in. I heard it. And when they were like, He-Man, I was like, yeah, I
Well,
like it.
if they want that to sit, they should have played the thing when he did it. Okay,
No.
that's not what they did. In here, they find out his name He-Man. He was calling Teela warrior goddess in his mind. He was like, what the fuck? And
I would have
they
lied
do
if I
the
was that.
'60s laugh where they will say some cringy in the '60s show. They will say some cringy joke in the episode, and then He-Man and everyone will lean their head back as far as they can, and they'll laugh like ha 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 ha. And they do that in this film. And I thought that pulled the name together as a '60s reference back fully together.
Right.
And I only think the scene works because Cringer looks at him. He was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And you see him ready to escape the scene, and he's so thankful that like that phone call came in for help.
Right.
Huh.
But She-Ra, I'm iffy about this. I'm not a She-Ra fan. People don't know. I hated She-Ra because of her own TV show.
Yeah.
Then her own TV show being what it was and the fan base it made aggravated me to no end. Especially because
He's
She-Ra
talking
was
about
one of the main.
he's talking about the
She-Ra
newer
is-
one. The newer one.
She-Ra,
not
yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Netflix one. She-Ra something, whatever.
the-
the fuck.
yeah, powered something. I forget.
Princess of Power.
Yeah.
This is the one where this is one of the shows that popularized. Oh, the villain can murder millions of people, do all this other horrible, crazy stuff, but because she's gay, it's okay. And they showed
I
that.
do know that.
I'm not going to talk about it because of the gay angle, but it happens so often that they immediately just forgive someone for doing the Darth Vader level stuff because they're gay for a main character.
Oh yeah. From what little I know about that adaptation of She-Ra, there was a lot of controversy on that topic alone. You know.
Yeah, and
specifically-
that stuff started so
LGBT
early in the
topic.
show that it made
Mhm.
anytime you wanted to, if you enjoyed the show, it made talking about the show a nightmare for everyone involved. It was just not worth
Mhm.
doing. So by the
Okay.
point that this all happened, I did not care about She-Ra.
Mhm.
And going to this movie, She-Ra was the last thing in my mind. Because they're not at one point did they talk about him having a sister. Or whatever. Like anything connected to anything that could lead to She-Ra besides like me and Jake were talking about the technology that could lead to Hordak. There was nothing
Mhm.
point to She-Ra.
Mhm.
So now I'm thinking about if we got a sequel, you're trying to be like, oh, actually, I'm your secret sister in another dimension where I'm the he person, but they call me She-Ra, and this is my skeleton where he's Hordak. He's technology instead of magic, even though Skeletor here uses technology anyway, and it's just a lot to think about because all the jokes and stuff we just got here, we're going to do them again when we get to her place.
Right. Well, well, the jokes would continue. I think Adam would just bring out the tradition. He's like, where like someone, like I made the joke, like the reason she come up with her name is because someone would make a joke about his name, where like Teal would be like, "Oh, it is your cousin He-Man." It's like He-Man. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like I like that. Well, I guess you could call me
No.
She-Ra. Like you know, I can see her.
Guarantee you she won't like that name.
I feel like she's gonna think it's. She's gonna. The only way she would have to name herself. I don't know.
I feel like he's going to tease her with that bullshit.
Yeah, they're gonna go to the annoying butter angle if they
Yeah.
have a sequel. You know.
I feel like
But,
he'll be teasing her about it.
Mhm. But,
I think it'd be kind of cute if like that was their thing. They're both like dorks. Like
I don't think that works.
Oh,
Unlike him, who was sent away to the universe, she was actually raised in the universe. She should
Well,
not
I mean,
have
even before that, he
names should not
was.
be weird to her.
Well,
He
you
was there
would.
for 10, and then he got escaped. He made those names after he left.
No, I understand, but like the message, before that, even if he wasn't making those names, they were saying that he was kind of a dork for like what they were. So I can see her maybe like, oh, well, I mean, like that's kind of cute. Like I like that. That's kind of cool.
I would hate that.
I
I would hate for two twins who got separated. They never even knew each other.
Right.
Raised in two different environments, still having the same hobbies. I think that would be terrible.
Oh no, I'm saying the same hobbies. I'm saying he would introduce it to her, and he would be like, "Oh, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I like that." That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
I hate you. Anyway, but when it like we're gonna do a lot of stuff over when it hears her names. Like Hordak name will be fine. Like Skeletor, it just sounds like a weird name. It's not a title like He-Man or Mecha Neck and shit like that. But she has her own villain stuff we'll have to go through. God forbid they introduce anyone for a show because that dialogue is gonna fucking kill me. Like I said, bro, if they brought Kat, the main person from that show, I didn't like. I would have lost my shit. I would
Well,
never watch that
I mean,
shit.
you would base it off of the '60s show though. You wouldn't base it off of the
I
actual show.
have no fucking idea anymore, Jake.
Okay.
I don't know what the next level of the message they want to go with after the whole positive masculinity thing we just had.
Uh, I'd
Mhm.
imagine they would just take the one from like the old show. I feel just to keep in line with the theme. But
But I don't know. Just a tease. It
Mhm.
would. We're probably not getting shit, y'all.
no.
That's
But
that's
a
so
better
sad. 'Cause
tease is Francis. We get Orlok. I mean, whatever the fuck that nigga's name is.
Orko.
Orko.
Yeah.
And he's telling the story apparently and teasing us. Hey, next time we have another adventure. And I was looking at this. I was like, bro, you would have been useful 20 minutes ago.
Right.
That's true. But man, that's really sad because I feel like, look, if this movie were to have a sequel, you could definitely expect like the writing team to take a lot of the criticisms from this movie to heart, tone down on the humor, make things a little serious, and I'm sure they know what not to do with She-Ra. So
Crippen, to see the last one was the '60s nostalgia. Now it's time for the 2000s. Okay, now we did the
No,
2000s. Okay.
because she wasn't in the 2000s. No.
No,
yeah,
you would make the tone like it. That's what I'm saying.
like, she would
So
have been cool. But
you'll still do 60 for the second movie, and I think you do the 2000s for the last movie because the last movie should be the big bang, so everything should be more epic. No time for jokes. Skeletor probably teaming up with Hordak or Skeletor got
I
that power. Like we should be
I-
like the
Krypton
peak
knows
of
who this
everything.
is. We just talked about him before, but I think you bring in King Hiss. That
I
dude
don't
was
want
like
a
a
snake nigga. No, I don't want a snake nigga.
that dude was a
Fucking
green. That dude was a gray skull threat, bruh.
yeah. Yeah.
That was Gray Skull's enemy.
He-Man needed to armor up to go fight against
He
that
didn't just
guy.
need the
You
army. Like
know?
he needed the elders of Grayskull to help him, bro. That was how big that
Yeah.
shit was, bro. Yeah, I'll bring
hmm
King Hiss in for sure. But
Yeah.
man.
But what I'm saying is, and also at that same time, like we'll probably get to see more of He-Man as a powerhouse in the next film.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
Well, to be fair, Hordak. The fact that you have to need these two specifically for Hordak shows you the level of stuff Hordak probably would have ended up doing.
hmm
Because I still do wish for the third one, Skeletor and He-Man teams up the fight. If you want to do King Hit, sure. But I do think I think them making Skeletor as honorable as he was, like he could have killed your friend, he could have lied up. He didn't really think he did anything to himself to lock him up. So
hmm
Skeletor being who he was, I do think this is the only time I could really believe a He-Man willing to trust a Skeletor because at least this one keeps his deal. So like he's not gonna lie to you about it. If he's gonna betray you, he's gonna tell you he's gonna betray you.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is a good movie, but it was so close to a great movie that it feels bad to.
Yeah, I think it was a
It feels
mistake.
bad to think about after you see it.
You guys think it was a mistake they brought this out on June?
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's that. I
Summer.
just think I was like, no matter what you did, you would have the only way for this movie to work is if you fully understood what it was trying to say before it came in, like to get me in
Yeah.
theaters.
you need
But
better marketing,
right,
Yeah.
and so
Uh,
like
and I
unless
do think June fucked it over. Jake, I don't know you. The box look so like a session, back rooms, and something else are making like record breaking numbers right now in like the middle of this situation happening.
yeah,
The competition this movie has
And
to
they
go up against is very big, and then there's another big movie in a week, and then after that is Spider Man. Like this was the worst. Time
yeah.
for this
Also,
section.
like '80s nostalgia. I mean, like old school nostalgia is
Mm.
kind of coming out, is kind of getting out of fashion. I think for a lot of people
Yeah.
as well.
And they're also competing against Scary Movie 6, so there's
Yeah.
also that.
Yeah, that movie doing number two. That movie's terrible. So this movie's better than that. I'm probably that. You should have watched this instead if you want Scary Movie 6.
I'm just saying, like some of the money that would have went to Scary Movie 6 could have maybe given this He-Man movie some life support.
If Back Road and Scary Movie not come out, this movie would be doing a lot better. It'd be the only big thing you have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you have a lot of big options around it, and then it only gets worse because more big options are coming out soon too. Like even Jake, the end of Oak Street has a bigger projection than this.
yeah.
And the end of Oak Street is such a niche film based on the concept of what we're seeing that I'm like, bro, you really just screwed it. It really was a Transformer one thing where people saw the first trailer and said, nah, and he just never came back.
Yeah.
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 Yikes.
There's a
It is
good
what it
film
is.
that was also a great film. There's a great film stuck in a good film. I guess the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Positive message, and I don't mean like a
Well,
pandering way, like a legitimately positive message for men. I think in this movie, like not in a pandering, no pandering shit, you know. But
mhm,
that's what
mhm.
it is. Oh well.
Trim out the fat of the comedy.
Yeah.
Less is more
Jared
sometimes,
Leto,
audience.
Jared
Less
Leto,
is
do more mocap villains. Okay, do more CGI villains. Because this is someday to work for you. If you do another Transformers film, I wouldn't mind you trying to do Megatron. I think it'll be very.
oh boy. Oh.
Just
Oh,
don't
so
do
that
Starscream because it'll be a little bit too much to your Skeletor. But doing
yeah.
like Shockwave, doing one of the main big Decepticons, I think would be very fun for you.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Whatever movie you're in next, Jared Leto, I'll go watch it to support you, dude. Because
I
I
won't. I won't
feel
watch it
sorry
off
for you.
principle, but I'll watch it if it's good. But I will give you the benefit of doubt. I won't say, "Oh, the movie's gonna fail because you're in it."
Right.
Yeah.
I'll stop
I
saying that at
want you to
least.
get out of this court. I want to root for you, man. I really do. I want to see you in a movie that succeeds. You know, so yeah, man.
I wish you the best, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh yeah, I wish
alrighty.
the actor who played He-Man here too because he did a lot to try to make that body work. He did a lot of
Yeah.
exercise stuff. So he has dedication. I would like to see him more and more fantasy stuff because I brought this up earlier when we first started review. Sword and sorcery is not as popular as it used to be. Like the last two Conan variant movies failed. Even like King Arthur and stuff failed. Like there's not a lot of Sword and sorcery isn't as popular as it used to be
Mm-hmm.
as a franchise. So I hope they keep trying to make it at least make one good. But you did really well in this role for Sword and Sorcery. I hope you don't
Mm-hmm.
just spit on this genre after you leave this film.
It's like the Cowboys, man. You'll see. You'll eventually see them succeed at one point. You know, you'll see a good adaptation. So yeah, yeah. Well, we pretty much talked about everything everything there is to talk about this film. You
Yeah.
guys have any final thoughts on this before we end the night?
That rendition of the song's called "A Job for He-Man." That song's pretty good.
They have three good OSTs here.
Yeah.
Their actual thing, Master Universe with lyrics, they played it. It's actually really good. They play the whole thing,
Right.
but it takes some time to build up. A Job for He-Man is a really good OST too, and there's one more. But the main thing they play when he turned He-Man is terrible.
Mm.
It's not terrible, but it's not as good as any other one.
Oh, I will say, speaking of "A Job for He-Man," bro, when that first plays and they do the lightning strike from Grayskull and they have a ride into the thing, I'm like, yeah. I wish we had
No.
more of that. I wish the movie was a little bit more instead of like completely jokey. I wish it was a little more campier. Like instead of the joke, it was more campy. If that makes sense.
No.
Because that
Yeah.
seems like that is what I wanted more of, in terms of like cinematography. But you know, it is.
I think I agree with that, Chris. I agree with that. If they replaced a lot of the jokes that didn't work with more campy elements, I think the movie would have been better. I think that would have fixed a lot of
Mhm.
problems Krypton had, and I think that would have smoothed a lot of some of the transitions over. Because they do have the campy moments, but it feels like it's only when Skeletor's around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, all right. I guess
Yeah.
we'll get out. I don't have the He-Man theme, and if I play anything else, it just doesn't feel right. So I guess I'm just gonna, like, end the stream.